I think we're live. Hello, Internet. Hello, YouTube. The name of the day is Figgle. You can also call me Nate. You can call me Nathan, but please never call me Nathaniel. And welcome to episode 2 of the How to Win Monster Train at Covenant 25 series. We started yesterday with the Hornbreaker Prince. And I think it went rather well. We're going to do a very similar setup today, this time with the Sentient. So just like last time, I'm going to be starting off with a little bit of discussion around the mechanics that come along with the Sentient Champion, go into detail about how they work, give some context for how it works specifically with the Sentient, and then we'll jump into all the runs. So again, we'll do 4 runs. We'll do 1 with each clan. Try as best I can to hit all champion upgrade paths. And again, caveat, I could lose. So it's not that following my advice is a sure way to win. But I will give my thoughts, how I expect the runs to go, what I try to do with the different clans, and then we'll see how it goes. Yesterday it worked out well. We'll see if it works the same today. So without further ado, let's jump into the logbook and take a look at the Sentient. So Sentient has 3 different upgrade paths and several new mechanics on top of what we talked about yesterday with the Hornbreaker Prince. Now we saw some of these mechanics show up because there's a lot of obviously overlap between different builds, but I will go in more depth into some of these. The first is we talked about rejuvenation triggers. So rejuvenation triggers means anytime any form of healing is applied to the champion, regardless of the value of the healing and regardless of whether it actually heals, which is pretty important. If there's any healing applied, even if the unit is at full health, then a trigger happens. And in this case, with the Sentient explosive, it's a damage burst that affects the front enemy unit. What's quite interesting about this particular trigger, and this is true of most triggers as well in the game, is it ignores things like spell shield. So spell shield on enemies doesn't matter. It also triggers per rejuvenation, and that includes the end of turn regen trigger. So if you have regen, you'll get whatever rejuvenation triggers you get in the moment, but then it also happens at the end of turn. It's every time it's applied, meaning that if you have lots of regen, every time you get a regen tick. So if you're doing Relentless and you're counting down, every time the regen drops off, you get a trigger. So quite interesting. It's not the only unit to have rejuvenation triggers. The other one is the other 2 hollows. So the Awoken Hollow and the Thorned Hollow. With the Awoken Hollow, it has Cultivate. We'll talk about that in a minute. And with Thorned Hollow, it generates spikes, which we will also talk about in a minute. So all these have the same effect, right? So they're all the same trigger. Sorry, let me say that again. They all have the same trigger, but then they have different effects based on that trigger. By the way, in the lore, this makes sense because the Sentient is also a hollow. The difference is it is a sentient hollow, hence the name Sentient. But anyway, let's jump back into the champion upgrade pass. Next thing we talk about is Revenge. We talked about Revenge last time, so the Prince also has a Revenge trigger with the Wrathful upgrade path. Here you have Revenge with Cultivate. So Cultivate is a brand new mechanic. In fact, if you go to some of my older guides, you'll see that my guides are outdated when talking about the old version of the Cultivating Sentient. Here you have 2 different things. One is you just get a flat amount of draw each turn. So each rank gives 1 additional draw per turn. And then you have the same with the amount of Cultivate. And Cultivate's effect is you get the amount Cultivate added to the health and damage of the lowest health unit. And when the game is looking for the lowest health unit, it is looking for the lowest current health unit, not lowest max health unit, which is also quite relevant when you're looking at Cultivate triggers. This means that, for example, as a Sentient takes more damage, at a certain point, it will always, unless you have like an insane amount of damage hitting it at once, like a 15x2 multi-striker or a Seraph the Patient that's like really jacked up. Very likely at a certain point, the Sentient starts cultivating itself because its lower health total starts, the low health total starts triggering it. It will not trigger on itself if it's going to die. If a unit is going to, well, if the revenge trigger happens while the sentient dies, it will then apply to a different unit. It won't apply to itself, which is, it makes sense, but just to clarify that's the way the interaction works. The other unit that has Cultivate is the Awoken Hollow. The difference with the Hollow is that it is based on Rejuvenation triggers, not based on Revenge triggers. And this positions we can talk about already the differences. So Explosive, so Sentient in general is kind of is tank oriented. You can tell that by the fact that it has like no actual damage and a lot of health. So it positions itself as a tank. But with Explosive, you can actually be pretty flexible. Explosive can go into any part of the floor. Normally you have it in the front because normally things that you're going to stack Rejuvenation triggers are going to be tanks, but you don't have to play it in the front. Actually, you can play it anywhere and you still get the benefit of the Sentient's Rejuvenate trigger. Compare that with the Cultivate. Cultivate, you need it to be in the front to get any value from its trigger, right? So it needs to be taking damage in order to trigger the Cultivates. So absolutely you're going to want it in the front. Bristling is going to be very similar, and let's then jump into the last one. Bristling is it has spikes, and it has a different amount of spikes depending on the upgrade level, or the level of the upgrade, or rank of the upgrade probably is the proper term. Starting at 10, and then 20, and then 40. So the way spikes work is spikes, it's kind of like a revenge, but it's actually not revenge. There are some differences between revenge and spikes that I think are pretty important to note. I talked about one of them with revenge yesterday. So revenge triggers will apply on when they attack into armor. They will attack into health, but they do not apply when you get attacked into damage shield. This is very important for the Sentient as it was for the Wrathful Prince. If you have damage shield on a unit that has revenge triggers, they do not trigger. Unlike spikes. Spikes trigger no matter what. If you get hit by any damage at all, apart from non-attack damage, which there are a few cases where you get non-attack damage. They're pretty rare, but they do exist in the game. But apart from those very, very, very rare cases, anything that hits your Sentient will take spike damage regardless of what you have on your Sentient. So it doesn't matter if you have damage shield, doesn't matter if you have armor, doesn't matter, whatever. They're gonna take spike damage. And they will take spike damage without any modifiers. They'll take spike damage equal to the amount of spikes you have. So at like base Sentient, for example, rank 1, you're going to have 10 damage per attack. And again, it's per attack, which means that multi-striking units will take the damage multiple times if they strike multiple times. And with sweep units, this happens also in reverse, but if you attack a unit with sweep, you hit a unit, I should say, if you have sweep and you hit a unit with spikes, regardless of where it's positioned, you will take the spike damage. That means that if you have multiple units that you hit with spikes, you will take multiple occurrences of spike damage, and that also goes true for enemies. If there's an enemy sweep unit and you have more than one unit with spikes, they will take damage for each of the spikes across the entire floor. There are modifiers to spikes. So if we jump into artifacts, we have two different modifiers. One is Petrified Crucible. It's very similar to Resonant Shard, which we talked about yesterday, in that it increases the damage per stack. So now, rather than dealing 1 damage per stack, the spikes will deal 2 damage per stack with just Petrified Crucible. It can be further modified with the Shard Channeler. And Shard Channeler is kind of similar then to Deranged Brute. Not as huge of a change as the Deranged Brute, but still a very similar modifier. And these also stack on top of each other if you have multiple Shard Channelers. So you could, get 5, 6, 7 damage per spike. Realistically, if you have like a ton of Shard Channelers, that could happen. I would say it's not so common, but you can do it. The other modifier for spikes is a little bit of a weird one. So there used to be a modifier with the artifact, the Gnarled Root. It used to add additional spikes every time spikes get applied, similar to the Railhammer, but then they modify it where now you gain attack damage based on your current amount of spikes. little bit of a weird interaction, but it does have some cases where it can become quite strong. I mean, obviously with the Sentient, at rank 3, you have 40 raw attack damage in addition to your spikes is pretty good. And then everything else is more like different ways that you can apply spikes. So we talked about already the Thorned Hollow, which generates spikes based on rejuvenation triggers. And then apart from that, you have Bramble Lash, which does damage based on spikes, Sharpen, Spreading Spores, and Cycle of Life, and Pyre Shards, all applying spikes. So very interesting. Just to give some like strategic parts to spikes, there are some really important thresholds with spikes. So early game, the threshold is 5. 5 spikes is typically enough to kill most things. The exception is when you take most things in the back line. Let me make sure I'm saying that correctly. Most things in the back line will die to 5 spikes up until around ring 7 or 8. At ring 7 or 8, depending on which seraph you have and which boss you have, you will start seeing units that have 10 base health. And then you need 10 spikes to kill them naturally. The exception to this rule is anytime you take an armor trial. So the base armor trial is plus 10, then they can also get plus 15, then they can also get plus 20. And those obviously affect how well your spikes are going to be able to kill things. When you take Bristling, can be quite dangerous to take plus 10 spikes because that means that you aren't guaranteed to kill backliners, and that could result in a lot of pyre damage unless you have either a way to apply additional spikes or another way to do a kind of AoE. So if you had something like a Glimmer, you could kind of get away with taking armor trial because you can Glimmer and then they die to your spikes, or vice versa. You spike first and then they die to the Glimmer. So there are ways around it. The other thing with spikes is after the 10 point, to get to the point where you're killing frontliners, you're needing to have something like, without any modifiers, 120 spikes, which is like insane to get. Like even if you have multiple double stacked sharpens, getting to 120 spikes is going to be a real feat for you to try to accomplish. So then if you want to have spikes be something that's killing the front line, you really have to get spike modifiers. You have to get Shard Channeler, you have to get the Crucible, Petrified Crucible. You need something like that can buff your spikes to do much more than that. So typically you don't see spikes as a frontline killer, you see it as a way to access the backline. Also important to note is that spikes don't affect units that don't attack, and that may seem very obvious, but it also is very relevant. If you're relying on spikes to kill the frontliners, you're going to have trouble with units like big armored 0 damage units or big healing units in the backline because they won't actually attack, which means that they won't die to your Sentient unless you have other forms of damage. So just be aware of that. I wouldn't say it's so often that you lose because of that, but it does happen. There are, for example, there's the floors that come with the 3 units that all add damage as an extinguish trigger, and they come with 2 armor units up front that have 0 damage. Well, you kill those backliners, good for you, but now you have 2 frontline units with a lot of armor and a lot of health, and now actually have damage, and that can become very scary. So just be aware as you're playing. You're probably going to need more than just spikes to be able to defeat most rings in the game. A lot about spikes. The other mechanic I want to talk about, because it's very relevant within the Sentient and not really so relevant with other champions, is Regen. So even though there's not a direct Regen-oriented thing apart from the Rejuvenate trigger, I think it's a good time to talk about it. So with Regen, Regen is that for every point of Regen at the end of your turn, you regain that much HP. And then similar to Rage, it decreases 1 per turn. Or 1 per combat round is probably a better way to say it. Because it does continue to go during relentless combat. Different to armor and spikes, which we talked about, spikes and armor do not naturally degrade. So your spikes, they stay forever. As long as there's no cleanse effect, you're going to keep them. You do lose them on death, similar to other buffs, but that's true of basically all buffs except for applied buffs that you get through stones. upgrade stones or through like the natural text of your unit. When you die, you lose all status effects. So yeah, that includes spikes, that includes regen, that includes armor, and everything else. So, but yeah, so regen naturally degrades, and it only applies once at the end of the turn. And again, if you die, you don't like. If you get like within your regen limit death, you still just die, right? You don't get to like regen it back and keep your unit alive. There's no temporary negative health like you see in some games. So if you're dead, you're dead, and regen is gone. The thing that's quite important about regen as well is there are, again, certain thresholds. If you're relying on regen to sustain units, the big numbers you're going to look for is early game. You want to get somewhere around like 10 regen to sustain through most of the early bosses. So Daedalus and Talos both aren't really going to kill you if you have around 10 regen and a mediocre amount of damage. For Seraph, you need at least 30 regen to sustain consistently, but you should plan on even more than that if you don't have a lot of damage. So you got to think about like once you get to 30 regen, that's basically the equivalent of 16, 17 turns of Relentless that you're going to get on that front unit. And then everything above that adds an additional turn. So so depending on how much damage you have, you should plan around 15, 16 turns at 30. And then, it obviously depends on also how much health you have on the unit, but that's, I think, a pretty good rule of thumb between 15 and 20 rounds you're going to get of combat out of 30 regen, and then every turn above that is going to be a full extra turn. Okay. Some notes about specific regen spells. Restore and Awake, both double, to a certain extent, they double apply Rejuvenation triggers because you get the trigger when you play it, and then you also get the trigger on the regen. Wildwood Sap does not do that, so Wildwood Sap does not apply Rejuvenation triggers on play. Spreading Spores does not either. Similar, if you get regen through other means, like if you get it through Primordium, or if you get it through, that's basically, if you get it through Primordium, you also don't get the trigger when it's applied. You get it at the end of turn when the regen goes off. Okay. I think we covered all the basic mechanics. Then we can start jumping into a little bit of the strategic side, going into the different clans. So we'll start with the first run, Hellhorned. And let's switch to Hellhorned here. So with Hellhorned, the Sentient fits quite nicely because the Hellhorned lacks a pretty consistent tank. That does have some kind of tanky units, but none of them naturally sustain nearly as well as the Sentient, or as well as really any of the Hollows in general. So it's quite nice. You get a really solid tank, and the Hellhorned has quite a lot of strong units you can play behind the Sentient. Things like an Alpha Fiend. I mean, Alpha Fiend's going to like just wreck during Relentless. You can play the Branded Warrior to get kills and then get a lot of rage on both the Sentient and the Branded Warrior. You can get, there's a lot of stuff, right? Typically, you don't want to mix armor and regen. You kind of want to go all in on one or the other. And given that the Sentient already has natural regen, armor becomes a little bit weird. The only time where I typically would use armor consistently is specifically on Bristling. If you don't have lots of regen, I mean, you can add armor onto Bristling and it still gets its value. And if you have two floors. So if you have another floor with a different tank, then getting armor can be quite useful. Rage is quite good with Sentient units or not Sentient, with Awoken units in general. So there's a lot of Awoken units that take a lot of value because they have Sweep or they have Multi-Strike, all of which benefit from Rage. So there's a lot of synergy between those. The only issue you might have is that you often don't have enough space to fit like a Rage generating unit or a Rage enhancing unit and the Sentient and the unit that's actually going to take value from it, but it can happen. One other nice thing about the combo of both Awoken and Hellhorned is that there are three different movement spells. So you have the Ascend with Hidden Passage, you have the Descend with Restoring Retreat, and you have the, and I can't think of the name of it right now, but the spell that ascends and stuns for 2 turns. So you have a lot of flexibility with moving units around, so it's can be quite easy to overstack floors. I don't think imps tend to work very well, so we're not going to go exile because the imps plus sentient are a little bit weird. The explosive sentient already fulfills the need of the queen's implings, and you typically want your imps to tank, but the sentient's already got enough health to tank itself. So it's a little bit of they kind of conflict. Early game it's a little bit okay, but especially late game it gets a little bit weird. So typically don't go imps, but you can make it work. It's not like it's awful, but they don't really fit together very well. In terms of champion upgrade paths, most likely you go Bristling or you go Cultivating. Restoring is okay. So it's okay with this, but I think it's not as good as with some other builds, which we'll talk about later. But Cultivating can be really strong. There's a lot of opportunity to get multi-strike on Hellhorned units because you have Gurg's Goad, and especially when you have a lot of these low health demons, the Cultivating triggers end up being really, really strong to make them buffed up enough that they're starting to generate kills, which is one of the problems with some of the demons like Branded Warrior. Bristling's quite good because oftentimes the demons will get strong enough to kill during Relentless, and they'll get strong enough to kill frontliners, but it can be difficult to get through the backline. So then having something like Bristling gets you a natural defense against backliners. One last note I didn't actually talk about is both the Bristling and the Explosive Sentient struggle a bit against Seraph the Chaste because they get their buffs halved. Bristling much more so because you really can't generate that much spikes so easily. But especially especially Bristling. With Explosive, you actually have enough time. If you have enough Awakes or if you have enough Wildwood Saps or even just enough Restores, you can still generate a lot of regen very quickly in the last 3 floors of Relentless. So it's not like it's a guaranteed loss. Bristling, it's not a guaranteed loss, but it's a struggle. And with Cultivating, you don't really care. With Cultivating, yes, you would love to have lots of regen, but the main reason you're playing a lot of the restorative stuff is to stack a unit with a lot of, pure raw stat enhancements. And you get those regardless of whether you get your regen removed or not. Okay, so enough theorizing. Let's jump into the run and let's see how we play it out. So again, we're going to be looking for how are we going to get enough, typically how are you going to get enough damage to supplement depending on which path we go. Okay, so we already have Seraph the Chaste, which means Bristling's pretty much out of the question. We'll go Cultivating or we'll go Explosive, whatever we get. And as well with the Sentient, you don't mix and match. You pick one path and you go all in because the third rank of every path is much stronger than the second rank. So you don't really want to kind of fit in a one rank of another. It's better to supplement with other units rather than trying to cover all your bases with just the Sentient. All right, so what do we start with? Razor Sharp Edge, Molting Imp, and Focus Growth. All of this looks very good for Cultivating. And it's also not bad for Explosive, but I think Cultivating seems to be the winner here, especially when you have Razor Sharp Edges. Then you can really kind of balance out the loss of health you're getting every time you play Razor Sharp Edge with the extra health they're getting from the Cultivating triggers. But let's see how it goes. Ooh, these are both fantastic artifacts. What do we think we're going to need more of? Draw is always really good with the Sentient, because that means more Cultivate triggers or more explosive Rejuvenation triggers. Forever Flame's always good in general if you have lots of units. We do have 2 imps, so making them free is pretty good. Helps a lot with smoothing out the Ember curve of the early game. It's a question of how many units are we going to get. If we were to overstack floors, we could get a lot of units. It would enable immediately Demon Fiend. Ooh, this is a tough start. I'm going to go with Thorn Fruit. I think Thorn Fruit just edges it out a bit. The flexibility of the damage plus the fact that you get the extra draw, I think makes it a little bit better. And if we end up having to go Explosive, it's going to help out a lot with Seraph the Chaste because then we can get more regen triggers because we're drawing more restores. Okay, we don't get it. We get Cultivating. Absolutely fine. As I said, I think between the two, Cultivating makes more sense. against the Chaste, but either would have been just fine. Nicole, thanks for the feedback. I'm glad that it's been helpful. Hopefully I continue to be helpful and we don't do these runs and end up in severe disappointment, but we'll see. See how it goes. All right, so this should be a very, very straightforward fight. The reason I took the trial is because we have the stings plus the torches. We'll clear units out way before they ever reach the Sentient. I actually really like the idea here of stacking the Sentient full of damage because we're going to make a lot of that health back with the... Oh, I should be playing it on the bottom. I have this problem. I have a problem. My problem is that I always forget the Sentient here gets the triggers based off of Revenge, not based off of the Regen triggers. So my bad. But either way, I still think this is the right play here. I guess we could put a Train Steward behind and start stacking it instead. Meh. So now the restores is purely just for restoring. We don't really need it to get any triggers here. One question that might come up is like, do you combine? Do you combine the Awoken Hollow and the Sentient and the Sentient together? Absolutely, you can if you have a way to overstack floors. So if we get like an early hidden passage, then absolutely we would try to overstack, and then get an Awoken Hollow would be really good. So I think we want to just kill things here. We have plenty of damage already to kill the boss, so I'm not too worried at all. We're gonna get some garbage, but it's like, whatever, man. We can now put some on the Train Steward as well. And this is looking very, very solid. Should have torched. That would have been a better way to finish out that turn. And yeah, I mean, we're killing it. And then that's not including the, you know, double Razor Sharp Edge we can play as well. Very, very solid start. AoE is a problem right now, so Glimmer is very appealing. We do have AoE with the Molting Imps, but it's only 5 damage. This can very easily become 10 damage. I don't think we need Steel Enhancer or Sharpen. With Sharpen, it's negated partially by Seraph the Chaste, so you're kind of like investing in something that's not going to be so great in the last fight. And Steel Enhancer just doesn't really fit our units so far, especially when we have Razor Sharp Edge, which is just such a more efficient way to gain damage. So I think the Glimmer makes sense here. As I mentioned about armor, I don't really want to mix and match. We have a lot of solid healing right now, so adding armor is a little bit less valuable. Given that we took a Glimmer, I don't know if we want a Vent as well. I think Glimmer is just a better Vent in this case, and we certainly don't want another Molting Imp. Okay, so who do we want in the back? I really like Branded Warrior here because he has low HP, so he's going to get a lot of value out of all of the cultivating triggers. And he has a chance to scale himself as long as we have a way to kill off frontliners. And the nice thing about having Thorn Fruit is there's a lot of opportunity there to generate good kills by kind of shaving off damage off the frontliner, and then the Branded Warrior can kill them. I think that's a solid setup here. Certainly better than the Horned Warrior, and I don't think Rail Beater makes sense at all. So we're going to take Branded Warrior here. And Branded Warrior would be fantastic if we got a Hollow and we could do some floor manipulation. We don't have any of that yet, but there's a lot of opportunity to get it with the fact that one of them's common, one of them's uncommon, and one of them's rare. Like, there's going to be a lot of opportunity to get one of the three. So then, what do we do here? I think we go right path. Take an Awoken unit. Shattered Shell is also very, very good with Cultivate triggers because of the sweep. The problem is now getting too many priority units. 2 is not bad. And if we did overstack, both of them would take benefit, and having the Rage from the Branded Warrior applied to the Shattered Shell would certainly not be a bad thing. So I think we could take the Shattered Shell. If we have to yeet one of them later, so be it. But I think it's okay. I want to start off with... Probably free razor sharp edges is my guess. I don't really want to have anything consume yet. And I also don't want to reroll here. Let's save our money. So we just get a free razor sharp edge and then we wait. So 10 damage. How are we going to kill backliners? Well, our sweep unit. Let's imagine that we have, let's see, what are we going to get on these floors? We're going to get a whole bunch of rage units. So with a whole bunch of rage units, we could get like 4 or 5 triggers, which would be enough for the Shattered Shell to kill most of the front line. We also only need a single razor sharp edge, and suddenly the Shattered Shell is killing everything. So I think this is pretty reliable. And I think how we play it... Let me see here. I think we can do pretty well. We put the Sentient, we Molting Imp, we play the Shattered Shell, and then is Glimmer enough? Oh, it's so close. It's so close. We're 1 damage off of killing most things. I guess we kill one of them, then we kill this one instead. But now, now we should be just fine on damage. The only issue is going to be HP on the Sentient, which could be a little bit of an issue. I am going to greed here for him. And we're going to get the 25 heal before the boss. We could preserve, I mean, for 1 damage. It's probably not worth it for 1 damage. I think it's better just give you all the damage here. Oh, the reason why we didn't get it is because of the imp. I'm a fool. We needed to play the imp in the front, and then we would have had enough damage. The imp was absorbing all of the cultivate triggers. My mistake. But we should be totally fine here. Yeah, we have plenty of damage. We can add a restore. Can we even keep him alive? We don't really want to change anything. Yeah, we just play it out. Yeah, that was very solid. Not optimal. We could have saved 1 damage and actually got a much more dangerous Shattered Shell, but I think it's okay. I'm really not loving the idea of regen here, but I really like the idea of restoration detonation. It's a very good way to get a lot of damage on the front unit, and this plus focus growth is the way that we can heal back the Sentient every time it takes a lot of damage. I think it's okay. We need to get rid of the torches. We need to get Glimmer to be stronger. And then we're hoping for Hidden Passage here. Didn't get it, and we're not going to take any more imps or armor. There's the Awoken Hollow. So we could do a 2-floor setup for now. And it would be a totally legitimate 2-floor setup. We put all of the restores onto the Awoken Hollow with one of the units. And then we put all of the big heals onto the Sentient. And it's a really solid 2-floor setup. I think we're going to go left path here, get some more spell upgrades, and I don't think we need any more units. Even if we were to get an Hidden Passage or a Restoring Retreat, I would still be fine with just these 4 units. Would be really good. Let's make the other Razor Sharp Edge free. Let's make Glimmer plus 10. We don't need to double stack anything. I think now it's okay to reroll. Permafrost is interesting. You could put Permafrost on a Restoration Detonation to save it for when you absolutely need it, but I don't think that... I think it's optimal. I think it's just better to have a free Glimmer here. So I would say mediocre upgrades, but fine. Ooh, Dante. Dante. He's certainly very, very good with Razor Sharp Edge. He's very, very good with Cultivate triggers. 3-floor setups are really difficult to manage because you have so many priority units. For example, imagine a turn where we go Sentient Branded Warrior, next turn Shattered Shell, and we don't get our Awoken Hollow for like a long time. Could be problematic. Here it's not such a big deal. The other thing with 3 floors is it's difficult to manage healing across all 3 floors. Unless you have something like a holdover a hold over Unleash the Wildwood, where you can consistently heal any floor you need to. I think I'm going to take Dante. This is a pretty solid Dante setup. If we can get him with either the Sentient or on the floor with the Awoken Hollow, he's going to get really stacked. And then we don't prioritize giving him health, we just prioritize giving him lots of damage. Now, one thing we need to be concerned a little bit about is the fact that Seraph the Chaste comes with sweep units. So whatever we do, we need to make sure that we can properly deal with sweep units or we're going to be in trouble. What do? You daze. So here's how I think we play this out. I think we play you here, pop you up front. We're going to put the Branded Warrior here with the Sentient, and then we're just going to do some damage. And then we'll put the sweep unit with the Awoken Hollow. And I think that should be a pretty reliable setup here. So we have to play them on this floor. Can we afford to take 3 damage here? I think it's okay. Ooh, would love to be able to kill you, but we're not going to be able to do it. Okay. This is a bit scary. We need a Glimmer here. Or Restoration Detonation is also really good. That's pretty solid. Razor Sharp Edge gets you so close. With the Molting Imp and Torch is enough. Perfect. Now we start generating rage. Ooh, do we need a Glimmer here? It's certainly very appealing. We're going to get rid of this. I think Glimmer here makes a lot of sense. Just make sure we're nice and healthy. We can Sting, do 2 Rejuvenate triggers. And he should be pretty... Oh, we're going to kill him with a... Sting. Play this out. Razor Sharp Edge gets you exactly the kill, which is fantastic. Double Rejuvenates here. This is going very well. How are we doing on this floor? Not quite killing. But we haven't played everything out yet. We can do a Sting up here to prevent that damage. And then the extra healing here should put us pretty close to killing. Okay, it's going to have less... No, just over 100. They can do more than 100 damage. Very cool. So then... Oh yeah, especially when you have a Restoration Detonation, followed by a Glimmer... Sting, Sting, Restore. We're very, very solid here. So what do we want? We want Unleash the Wildwood would be really good. Cycle of Life doesn't make sense in this build. Spike of the Hellhorned doesn't make sense. Channel Song. You know what? I need to yeet the Branded Warrior. I just realized now all of the extra rage we're going to get is going to get removed during every time the chase comes. We shouldn't have taken the Branded Warrior. That's okay. We replaced the Branded Warrior with Dante once Dante arrives. So Channel Song is very interesting. It's very good with Dante. But it does mean that we have to get Permafrost on it. And we might have to wait to play Dante one additional turn. Is that worth it? Maybe. I mean, that's plus 20 times... Let's see, we're going to have 3, 4, 5. So... That's 120 damage onto Dante. I think it's worth it. We're not going to take anything here no matter what it is. And we're not going to try to like way overstack floors right now. So I think we'll just start with the draw. And I still really would like a Restoring Retreat. That would really pull like all the parts of the build together. Let's go with some unit upgrades. We will not upgrade the... Oh, this is great. Multi-strike on the sweep units, fantastic. Plus 10 in spikes as a starting point on Awoken Hollows, not bad. And I think we can give Rage to the Shattered Shell. It gets it enough like early damage that then later on we don't need to stress about it. So we're going to go again all in on Cultivating. That plus 14 extra damage will be really important for early floors, like this one, for example. Now the sweep unit kills everything without even having any cultivating triggers. This should be fine. In fact, it's pretty good if we can keep the Sentient alive. No, you can get multi-strike on Sentient or on Awoken Hollow if you're planning to have it cultivate itself. That's not bad. Let's go middle top. We're going to play the Branded Warrior. We're going to swap it up. We're going to put, since they have multi-strike, I actually feel like we're incentivized to try to get as much multi-strike hits onto the Sentient. And that means that Shattered Shell is going to be like really strong. I mean, already is really strong. Seems really good. Play you out just to die. Okay, so we play you. We play you. Ooh, do we? Or do we just Glimmer? I think we just Glimmer here. In both cases, we lose a unit, though, which is not very nice. I think it's still okay. And then we play... This is actually better, because it does 2 triggers instead of just 1. Play this down here. I mean, already we have a 50 by 2 sweep unit, so those cultivating triggers, they stack really fast. I'm going to play you there. This doesn't really matter. We just play them to get the draw, and then play this Molting Imp out to die. Okay. Focus Growth is fantastic. We play Dante's Candle, get even more swole, and I even think we Glimmer here. We want to get as much health as we can on the Sentient, because then we make sure all the cultivating triggers are hitting the Shattered Shell. We have a 94 by 2 sweep unit. Pretty strong. Let's double Sting for the draw. Double Restore here to get even more triggers onto this Branded Warrior. Cool. Very straightforward. Play the Glimmer. We can restore a little bit of health there, and it's over. Boom. We will not take Gnarled Root because we're not getting any spikes, and the 3 extra damage up there doesn't matter. Awake is pretty good. Edge Prior can fit, and would make it so that we're less concerned about lowering the cost of all of our healing spells. I quite like it a lot. We do need to make sure it's got lots of health, because we don't want it to take the cultivating triggers. Important work doesn't make sense. No, none of this makes sense. It's all armor and rage. So we didn't get Hidden Passage. We do now have Dante. The other nice thing about Dante is we also get the plus magic power, which is going to be really good for all of our spells. Let's go... I'm really tempted to go Trinkets, also because we need to get removal rolling. We can get rid of 2 Train Stewards, and the healing, dealing damage to the front enemy unit would also be a really good upgrade here. Oh, and Stings. Conserve energy. Oh my gosh, this is rough. Both of these are so good. Oh, I think it's the 30 damage Stings, though. That just edges it out. But that's actually a lot closer. Like, Spell Shield here, I think we should be okay. Now that Dante's joined the party, we're going to get a lot of damage very quickly. Which reminds me, we need to yeet our Branded Warrior pretty soon as well, because he's hogging up a priority unit slot. Let's go this setup with the expectation that we should be able to... we should be able to get either the Awoken Hollow or, I mean... Oh my gosh, okay. This has got to hit one of the 2. Please hit Dante. Game, why you got to be like that? Perfectly reasonable request. And you got to get all up in my face about it. All right, let's just give you more damage. Would have obviously made more sense to play it there, but you know, it's fine. Finally, we get both Dante and the Awoken Hollow. I think we have to just accept the loss on the top floor. We're going to take 30 damage. It's life. Sometimes life gives you 30 damage. There's nothing you can do about it. We're going to play this down here for draw purposes. And there's the 3 floors you were asking for. It's not a great 3 floors, though. Okay, Edge Prior can fit here. Suddenly, healing becomes much easier. Glimmer, Restore, Restore, Sting. And the sweep unit will be able to kill both of them. Dante is going to continue to get swole as soon as he has less health than the Edge Prior. We need you guys, you need you to survive. You need exactly 15 health. So we do this here. That was a mistake. Whoops, misclick. But we're still doing a lot of damage. Dante's getting real swole. Sweep units taking care of all the garbage that, okay, not all of it, but a lot of the garbage that gets left over. Let's just do a Glimmer here. That's enough to kill both. We can try to get rid of Spell Shield here. Hey. Keep stacking our buddy Dante here. Focus Growth, another double trigger, and play you out just to die. These multi-strikes are going to get our guy real swole. He's going to get huge. Yeah, I mean, we're not even... we're gaining health. Oh, it's because we're already doing so much damage. Very solid. Okay. Engraft is pretty good. I mean, draw, we're fine. So after this, we're certainly not going to take draw. We might actually take Ember, maybe Capacity. Need to see. Preserve Thorns is too much. I think it's just Engraft. And we skip. Engraft is good because you can get a Rejuvenation trigger. And in addition, you can also use it as a way to heal. I mean, now it's doing 11, and then you get the Ember, and then you get the draw. So it's just a lot of really good stuff all packaged together. What do we want with Dante? I think just extra, like, pure damage. So plus 10 here. We want the health onto Edge Prior. Where do we want the multi-strike here? Do we give him another multi-strike? It seems really expensive for just one extra multi-strike, but I think it's okay. We don't want him to have quick because we want the Sentient to take damage. We could put it on you. It is 30 damage. That's not bad. And then more health on Edge Prior. That's why I'm adding health. With 55 health, they're never going to get in the way. I think we're going to go with Rage. Rage gives him 14 damage to start with, times all of his stuff. That'll help him to scale while he waits for all the cultivating triggers. And then we are going to yeet the Branded Warrior. Cool. So we need to get rid of all of our other units. It's going to be a lot of stuff to get rid of. I think it's random Awoken consumable. Yeah, I guess it's fine. It's going to be a long. It's going to be a lot of triggers before Dante gets more than 55 health now, so we should be totally set. What we're going to do is we're going to play. Ooh, do we split now? Do we separate? It is pretty important to make sure we don't get any garbage. I'm okay with Dante getting Rejuvenation-based triggers too. It's also totally fine. We're not going to play Glimmer here. We'll just play it up here instead. Very cool. And already it's a 28. So, yeah. There's Dante. We play Engraft first. Then we play the garbage, and then we can get rid of this. Do some more damage. Seems good. More garbage. Given the set up here, We're just going to get rid of the garbage. Let's not take any pyre damage. We're not at any risk in this fight. We have so much damage. Okay, so we can get rid of this. That's double razor sharp edges, which is massive. I think we still do this to get even more damage and get a couple of rejuvenation triggers out. And then just sting for 40. And we're doing a lot of damage already to Fel. Ooh, this is not the turn you want to see. We're going to get rid of a lot of garbage, give you more damage. You're fine. We're going to take 3 pyre health damage here. It is a sad but nevertheless true story. Okay, you need a heal. So let's engraft you, focus growth you, and then we can get as many triggers as we can down here. I guess smack you. And get another couple of triggers. Cool. Pretty good. Get rid of the garbage. So only taking that one hit is not bad. Okay, so razor sharp. Oh, we're already killing. Okay. Razor sharp edge though. Double stings. Restoration detonation. Regen. Yeah, we're good. We won't play the molting imp. So the biggest priority now is just clearing out as much garbage as we can out of the deck. Don't need any of this. And now it's Ember. We don't need more capacity, but having more Ember would be really, really valuable because we're getting into turns where we have so many draws we can't play everything in our hand. Let's go Pyre Health, Hell's Banners, or Bloating Fungus. Probably Hell's Banners. I think we have enough healing. Hell's Banners will be relevant for the first couple of turns, which is not bad. I really like minus one? Minus one here. And is it holdover on focus growth or on engraft? It might be focus growth. Maybe it's razor sharp edge. Razor sharp edge is so good at scaling Dante. And we don't really need plus 10 on anything. Oh, what am I re-rolling for? I can't afford anything. Let me just throw money away. That sounds good. Yeah, we really didn't need to take any draw. We should have just taken all Ember. Plus 8 damage. Not concerned. We have so much health now on the Sentient. And it's very, very easy for us to heal. We're going to do the same setup as last time. That way we can kill the backliners consistently. I guess just toss all you guys out up here. What we're going to do is play the imp and then immediately torch it. And Dante and or the Awoken Hollow should show up now. Both of them do. And that's more than enough damage to kill them here. We don't need a sweep there. We can Glimmer here. And then just get all the triggers. And we're going to spend all the money we're getting purely on removal. Because that's what we need more than anything else. Play you here. Play you here. Now you're at full health. Just get more triggers. That gets us an extra kill. This does not, but still fine. Okay, now we need to start thinking about healing the Sentient. So Restoration Detonation here. Edge Prior, obviously first. I think we're good on damage there. Let's just keep making sure that the Sentient stays alive. Torch this guy, I guess. Okay. We can play almost everything here. Let's get the big heal out and then do all the rest on him. Keep stacking up Dante. Should have played that maybe down here, but it's fine. Okay. Glimmer. Plus Sting. Negates the damage. I guess we did the double restores down here. Try to get as much health as possible. Still double razor sharp edges, and we're totally fine now going into the final fight here. Yeah, we're killing the boss on the first floor. And that's before we've done focus growth, razor sharp edge. We can sting if we want. Very solid. Now it has enough health to overcome the edge prior. Shard channel doesn't make sense. Wildwood Tome doesn't make sense. We just skip here. And skip again. So we never got our floor manipulation, but I think we're looking very solid going into the last fight there. We're doing so well I get emotional. Let's remove 2 Train Stewards first. We really would like to see Permafrost if we could get it. We don't get it. Let's make the focus, no. What do we make free? Engraft. Reroll. Don't get Permafrost, dang. Well, there's still a chance it hits. Let's minus cost focus growth. Hold over the engraft. And see what we get in terms of trinkets. Better stings. Okay. And then we'll remove 1 more Molting Imp. Cool. This should be a very, very easy finishing win here. We're going to get so many cultivating stacks during Relentless. We already get a start with Dante and the Sentient. Seems pretty solid. Yeah, we're killing almost everything. Now we're killing everything. We can even Glimmer here because we don't care about... oh, we would get the Cultivating triggers, though. You know what? Cultivate. Alright. 1, 2. Just realized now we can't actually fit our buddy here, but that should be okay. Let's try to stack you full of regen. Get rid of this. Torch is good enough for you. Restoration Detonation and just stack damage. Ember Drain's going to be a little bit annoying. Luckily we have extra HPs. Alright, so what we're going to do... Going to play you here. Play you here. We're going to play Channel Song to get the swollest Edge Prior you've ever seen. He's going to defend the top by himself. And then... yeah, restore here. Or, you know what? Do the Wildwood Sap now. And you got your 3 floors. It's not a very conventional 3 floors, but it is 3 floors. So no complaints. Alright, let's get rid of these. Play out, I think, all of our regen here, because we're going to get better restorative stuff later on. Obviously not loving the Ember Drain, but then you get a floor that's like, or a turn that's mostly 0 cost stuff, and you're not feeling bad at all. This is a good turn to just stack some restores in there. Another Razor Sharp Edge. We could Sting. And then we do double Rejuvenation triggers here. This is all looking very, very solid. Okay, we actually need to heal a lot because we're getting to the point now where the Sentient has almost less health than Dante. We can't have that. It's not okay. Let's Glimmer. Razor Sharp Edge. Double Restore. We could even Torch again if we wanted. Sure, why not? Okay. Play the Candle. Double Razor Sharp Edge. This Sting just kills that frontliner, giving a lot more damage to Seraph. And then, where do we want to restore here? I think we do both up here. How's it going today? It's going pretty good. I'm, we're doing the education from home right now, and it's a doozy, man. It's my daughters are really they have a hard time staying focused when we're at home. We'll put it like that. It's okay, but it's been an interesting day just on that end, trying to get them to stay focused. But you know what's really good is that we're totally wrecking this guy. This is a great Dante build. Cultivating plus Dante is just so solid. 163 by 6. So we're doing, what, 900, almost 1,000. Actually, we are doing it. No, we're not doing quite 1,000. We're doing just under 1,000 damage. 1,000 damage per hit. Or per attack. Is not bad. So very solid first run. Key here is multi-strike units, sweep units, and we talked about that last time. That the same with Rage. Stat enhancements. You really want to focus on sweep, on multi-strike, on trample. Those are the kinds of things you want, or backliners. And in this case, it was a multi-strike, sweep, and backline. So really solid setup here. All right, next up we have Stygian Guard. So Stygian Guard is where I really like rejuvenation triggers. So you can you get like double value out of it because you get the rejuvenation triggers. Plus, then if you put in incanters behind, all of these restores then incant your backliners to get value out of the incants. You can also, if you want, you can actually put a tank in front of Seraph. So you can put like Guard of the Unnamed in front of the Seraph and use your restores to generate regen on the Sentient. And because the Sentient's being blocked by another tank, you're going to get every single regen trigger. And you, let's see, you need at the end, I think it's 40 damage at rank 3. Or is it 40 or 60? I think it's 40. And at 40, so you would need 40, you would need, yeah, like close to 100 triggers if Seraph was full health, but Seraph usually isn't full health. But you can kind of get close to that. Well, relatively close to that. I feel like it's more than 40. Anyway. No, I haven't had a chance to play it yet. Between work and monitoring my kids doing their schoolwork from home, I haven't really had a chance to do much free time gaming. I've played a couple of games of chess, that's it. So I've done a little bit of chess, and then I've been doing the streams. So anything else to consider with Sentient here? Cultivating is also okay, so certainly Cultivating is good, but I think really its explosive is where Stygian Guard you can get a lot of value. Because you explode the front units, and then you have your incanters to kill the backliners. Let's see if we get a setup like that. We'll see if we also don't get chased. Okay, Seraph the Diligence. Yeah, Seraph the Diligence should be fine. We start with Stings. That's 2. And we start with Restoring Retreat. Ooh, okay. Okay. So we start with a way to manipulate floors. I really like an overstack build. We stack lots of things behind the Sentient. We can stack already these Mollusk Mages behind the Sentient. And then we can get a lot of incanters onto one floor and then just incant. Really, really solid. And we're going to go with Explosive if we can get it. With Root Split Mask, it doesn't make sense because we're going to try not to play on the top floor. We're going to try to play on the middle floor so we can descend units down. But Hell's Banner seems pretty good. Certainly is going to carry us early game. Explosive, it's fantastic. So I really think we're set up for success here. We just need to get enough spells that we can deal with Seraph the Diligent. Okay, it is 60. I don't know why I kept thinking it was 40. So at 60, you need like 60 triggers, basically, if you've done almost no damage onto the Seraph. But that's assuming you're doing literally no other damage. And of course, if you're doing that much, you can get a lot more damage very easily. So we're going to play middle floor. Play you out. We're going to put a Train Steward behind to start with. And then just, I mean, we don't get a trigger, unfortunately, but we can very easily get triggers here. So that kills the front unit. That kills... We're killing 2 units, but we're not getting the money, unfortunately. Ooh, almost all of them. Okay. I mean, I'll look at it for sure. It sounds really interesting from what I saw in the little blurb they put on the game. I'm not going to descend yet. It's not super critical at this point. Do we have any way of killing this backliner? We have no backline damage here. Not normally how you want to see it here. Let's play this Train Steward in case we somehow aren't able to manage killing on the second floor, which is a real possibility. We don't have a lot of triggers right now. So this is a real question. I think we should descend. Do we descend? Probably the Train Steward. So we're going to restore. Descending one of them versus just like smacking you or getting another trigger here. Because we're going 1, 2, 3, and then you're dead. It's only going to add 15 damage. I think we do this. And then we hope that the spell damage we get on the next floor will be enough to kill the boss. It's enough. Very solid. Okay. We don't have AoE, so Glimmer seems really good. It's double. It's AoE and it's burst in one. So that seems very solid. Don't love any of this, though. Do we start with unit upgrades or spell upgrades? I certainly want a Stygian unit. Like, I want mostly Stygian units. Not these Stygian units. I want incanters. We're actually going to... No, can we afford to skip here? Titan Sentry just doesn't fit this build. Which is unusual. Titan Sentry is almost always like good in every build. Do we just take him for backline clears? I guess we do. At least we take him early. We can always get rid of him later if we need to. So we want -1 on Restoring Retreat. Plus 20 doesn't really do much. I guess we could put it on a Frozen Lance. Do we want Permafrost? I don't think so. So we hold off on spending more money until later. We should be fine on damage. We can burst most things out before they have a chance to hit us. Okay, so we play you to clear backliners. Put you here. And, I mean, do we Restoring Retreat Hugh now? We could do that. But then we should have just played them and then Descending Retreated him. Because again, he doesn't have to be in the front line. We can keep the Titan Sentry in the front line and move other things behind. I think we're going to try that. Okay, so we should be able to kill... Oh, we really need to restore here. Do we need to restore more than we need to smack this fool? I think we need to smack this fool more. He'll die in the next floor. Yeah, we can just really wreck some fools here. We play you out. Smack. Smack. Heal. Glimmer here is pretty good. Then we get a sting. And it's a little scary, not gonna lie. We need a lot of damage right now. We did not get a lot of damage. We got an itty-bitty bit of damage. And that gets us one more hit. Not looking amazing. 10. We're going to take 18 damage. 3 hits. That's not bad. If we had played that a little bit better, we could have gotten a lot more, but it is what it is. Thorned Hollow, or sorry, not Thorned Hollow. Preserve Thorns is really good. Because again, we're looking to incant. Offering Token is also good for incanting purposes. And incant unit, please. Guard of the Unnamed. It's fine. We'll do what I talked about before, where you stack all your regen onto the Sentient, and then you have him guard up front. Okay, we need a Siren. There's a Siren of the Sea. Okay, and that's honestly probably enough. Copy a card 5 times. You know what I love copying 5 times when we're overstacking? Is a 1-cost Restoring Retreat. That seems pretty good when we're trying to overstack a floor. Do we dare do it again? Maybe we'd get another Preserve Thorns for draw. Although we're going to have... No, we're not. We're not going to have draw. We're not taking Cultivating. So that's actually good for draw. Okay. So the goal here is to play as much as possible things on the bottom floor. And then we just bring everybody down. Welcome. So we have Titan Sentry as our main tank, or at least in clearing backliners until we can fill out the rest of the team. Yeah, we're still just gonna do damage here. Okay. We would like to Descending Retreat now if possible. There's one. Let's get rid of a Deadweight. I'm going to play him up here. Bring you down. And then just get as many triggers as possible. Oh, Glimmer would have been amazing here. Oh man, it would have been really good. I guess the only thing we can take away from this is that we're going to get more Frostbite onto Daedalus now. So we go like this. Smack ya. Restoring Retreat. And Rejuvenation. Just want to get us more time until Relentless. And now we should be totally good. We're going to triple Sting. We're going to Restoring Retreat. We're going to Restoring Retreat again. Is that going to give us enough? Extra armor. What are you at right now? 33. So this gives him an extra hit. That's an extra 21. No, more than 21. So this, okay, let's see how much what we're going to add here. If we play Restoring Retreat, we get number, okay, 363 plus an extra 20 for the regen trigger. He is currently at 63 health. So 1 extra trigger means 1 extra hit. That's an extra plus 27. No, plus 28. Then now the Siren is going to have plus 3 hits per, or plus 2 additional hits per hit. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, plus 9, 12. So plus 24, plus 23. So we're going to be at 458. Not quite enough to kill. So given that, I actually kind of like dropping this guy down and giving us another chance to kill him. Or we take this damage, we put the Mollusk Mage up, and we try to kill him through. Oh, but that, I mean, this does add a lot. Yeah, I think it's worth it. We're going to take more damage at the top, but that added so much extra damage here. I mean, more than 100 damage. It's definitely worth it. You're dying. That's good news. We can play you in behind. Smack ya. We could Glimmer to save health, but I think we just would rather this guy die. And then play the Train Steward. No, he just dies. We'll play this for 2 damage. Alright, how are we doing here? Double Sting. Double Frozen Lance. Profit. Whew. Scary stuff, guys. Gifts for a Guard. Gifts for a Guard is very good. Adaptive Mutation is not so good. Deep Offering potentially is really good. Gifts for a guard. I think we go with Deep Offering. Vine Mother. We're taking a lot of priority units. We're gonna go draw, and I think we're gonna upgrade and then dupe the Siren. We can remove Train Stewards, also very helpful. That would put us at, let's say we stack the floor with everything. That would be Titan Sentry, 2 Sirens of the Sea, Guard of the Unnamed, Sentient, and the 2 Mollusk Mages. So we can fit all 7 right now. Incant Armor. We can put that on the Titan Sentry. We can also give it plus health and spikes. I don't want endless on anything. More Incant Armor onto the Guard of the Unnamed. More raw health on the Guard of the Unnamed. And I actually like getting a Large Stone onto Siren of the Sea. Because we can fit her plus another unit. Okay, we go all in on explosive. And, oh boy, we're going to have a lot of damage. The only issue right now is that we can't consistently get rejuvenation triggers. We don't have a lot of regen. Non-boss enemy units go up a floor is kind of scary with a build like this. Maybe we find a way to make it work. The early units are okay, it's the late units that become difficult. The fact that we're going to likely have Titan Sentry on the bottom helps that out a lot. How are we going to do this? You're going to get up here with him. We're going to put both of you in the middle. And we're going to let you die. Okay. So, now we play you. And then you. And I kind of like Restoring Retreat one of the units instead. We can either greed for the Collector. We greed for the Collector. Okay, we're doing this. This is happening. So that's a given. Greeting for the Collector means we take 9 extra damage. Greeting for the Collector means 9 extra damage. 9 damage for 75 coins. It's worth it. It's worth it. Okay. Alright, now how are we doing? Pretty good. So we can do Restoring Retreat, which bursts you a little bit. Restoring Retreat again. We're going to have to try to kill you with stings. But that should be... Oh, actually, we can bring him down. No, we can't. We're not even going to Descending Retreat here. We're going to do Preserve Thorns. I think. Or we do a Restoration or Restore right now. And we save Preserve Thorns for later. But now we have a lot of incanting happening, which is all very, very solid. Okay. How many stings do we need to kill you? A few. We need a few stings to kill you. But we do have a few stings. Okay. We get rid of Glimmer. That's enough. And then this is also doing a lot of work. Adds an extra 49 damage. And somehow we got it all together in the end. We're going to just do full incants here now. So we go Regen, Sting, Sting, Sting. Bring a Mollusk Mage down to party. And now we should be totally wrecking this boss. Yeah. Can we keep the Titan Sentry alive? That's the question. Answer, yes, barely. Okay, so what do we want? We want multi-strike on the Siren of the Sea. We're gonna get 2 of her eventually. Oh my gosh, Septap. Engraft seems really good. Pyre Grow also seems pretty good. Although we do lose a lot of draw the turn that we play it. Maybe that's okay. We have a lot of stings. Guardian Stone. Is that overkill at this point? We have a lot of units, but we do have Hell's Banners as well. And we have a lot of draw, so we get through them very quickly. This is an interesting run here. Let's go minus or plus 10 damage onto what? Vine Mother, I guess. And then just like more raw stats onto Vine Mother. No, raw stats onto Guardian Stone. And then we're not going to reroll. We'll continue onward. Unless we get a lot of money out of this cavern. I don't think we need to eat stick here. I think we're pretty solid right now with all the units we're going to get. Spikes. Should be okay. Most of our things have pretty good health totals. Okay, this is not really the start that you want. I don't know what that play was. I think we just... I think we do it like this. We play Sentient, Vine Mother, Siren, drop, and play you up top. And I think we just double... Do we want the incants here? I kind of think we just kill this, because then we can get all of our regen triggers, or restore triggers, directly onto the overcharge tank. So we play you down here. Preserve Thorns. Yeah. Well, hold on. Restore. Yeah, Preserve Thorns here. We split? I think we split a little bit. Oh, we could have killed this thing if we'd done enough stings. Oh well. It is what it is. Okay, now we can get Titan Sentry up front. We do not currently have a Descending Retreat, but we will soon. I assume. I hope. Okay. So we're going to play the Guardian Stone up top. And then we're going to go nuts here. Yeah, we just want as much regen as possible. Sting down here. Cool. We need those Ascending Retreats, though. We're going to start with the Siren. Then the... Oh, actually, we should have done that in reverse order. My bad. We're going to trust that we can manage to Descending Retreat this guy one time, and then we can deal with the boss. We're certainly going to have enough damage here. Actually killing everything there. Pretty amazing. There's a Descending Retreat. We're going to use it on you, because we're not worried at all about the boss. Just stack, 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 stack. Deep Offerings kind of sketch, but we might get a lot of stings. But I think we just play these guys out. Cool. There goes our dude. How are we doing? We're actually killing him. I mean, I sound surprised. I am a little bit surprised, but we have, I mean, yeah, look at this, 92 armor. My gosh. I love overstacked floors. It's such a fun way to play. Skip. We do not need any more draw. We're going to skip here. I think skip here as well. What we really want is like Awake and Unleash the Wildwood. Like cheap heal spells are really solid. Let's go right path here. We could already dupe the Siren, but I think what we're going to do is... Oh, we can't dupe it until the end. We're going to go left path. Because we want to try to get multi-strike on the Siren and then dupe it at the end. Another large stone? We could put it on the Guardian Stone. It fits. I think we just give you more damage to start with. Give you health and spikes. And then we don't ever go to unit upgrades again. We just do spells the rest of the run. Okay. So Calcified Ember is really, really strong. Especially when you're playing against the Diligent. Because now when we play the Blights that we get, we do huge burst damage. And it shouldn't be too difficult for us to play out the Calcified Embers because we have Hell's Banners. So like, for example, we can already play one. Let's start you guys up here. Put you up front this time. Let's go weak spell, big bursty spell. Okay. Get you in there. Descending Retreat. Play this. What are you? We're not incants. Okay, good. Just checking to make sure it wasn't an incant. This is Daze. Oh, we don't have incant spells. That's fantastic. Let's go 1, 2, Descending Retreat. Play you. And I think we just smack fools here. Cool. Still want Titan Sentry up front. There he is. Coming in to save the day. Mollusk Mage. Let's see. Sting here. Let's blast him. Blast him. And not play Sting. We're going to do the Rejuvenation trigger. And then, yeah, still Sting here. Might as well. We get the most incants on that floor right now. Alright, where's my Descending Retreats? There's one. Let's bring down the Siren... No, the Guardian Stone next. I think. Maybe we play it towards the end. So we go Incant. Trigger. Offering to get rid of Deep Offering. Then this will kill the frontliner. That should leave us with enough damage to kill the backliner. Then we can double trigger here. And almost everything's dying. Next up's going to be the Guardian Stone. Okay, let's play our Stings here first. Including our Preserve Thorn. Then we Restoring Retreat you. And then we double heal. Okay. Okay, we need a lot of incants on that bottom floor. Okay, Restoring Retreat. Restoring Retreat. And then just smack these fools. Oh my gosh. Do a trigger here? No, just heal. Cool. Hey, buddy. Welcome to the floor. Alright, where's the Sentient in all this? He's there. We can heal you too, just for fun. Cool. I mean, Arcus is getting through the first 2 units, but then we still have look at this Siren. The Siren still has 150 health. So we're not at all worried here. Cool. Awake, please. Didn't get it. Awoken's Rail Spike's really strong, though. We'll take that. And I kind of think it's Ember. I think we have enough draw already. And I don't think we need any more capacity because we just descend things down. So we take the Ember. And we go spell upgrades. Yeah, we want removal. We still have 2 Train Stewards. Alright, so what do we want with spell upgrades? That's actually a really interesting question. Double stack? No. -1 on Awoken's Rail Spike, I think. +10 on a Glimmer. And then I think I'm going to -1 again on the Rail Spike. And then no, we can't afford another +10. But this does seem very, very solid right now. That Awoken's Rail Spike is going to be massive. A lot of our stuff's going to become very, very free. 20 armor should be fine. We do so much... Like, it's like this weird setup, but we end up doing lots of damage very easily. So we're going to play you here. Play you here. Since you're the only one incanting... Oh man, I'm really incentivized to like drop the Sentient down now. Just get a whole bunch of burst damage, but we'll just do it like this. We'll stack these two on you. Only 4 draw next turn. That's a scary thought. Get you in there, get you in there. Smack ya. We might be taking some damage here. Glimmer would be useful. We don't get it. We do get a Guardian Stone. Can't fit because I'm a fool. 1. Restoring Retreat. 2. Restoring Retreat. 3. And start hitting these guys. Oh man. We're gonna take a lot of damage. Good thing we have a lot of Pyre health. Oh my gosh. Okay. So. This is very scary. So here's what you do. You Restoring Retreat this guy. No, you don't. It's like, doesn't matter. How much damage are we taking from this guy? We're taking 5 hits. So 53 extra damage. Whew. He's going to be about the same. Do we have any way of getting through any of this stuff? You know, we're going to do a restart here. We're gonna swap. We're going to play the Sentient on the bottom and go nuts with our restores. I think we kind of have to do that. We'll play this up here at least. Because that's going to make a massive difference. Now we can play this dude. Vine Mother, go here. You go here. And smack ya. Well, we greeted super hard. Like, this is entirely on us. I say we. I greeted super hard. We did not need to greed this much to make it work. Let's get everything out here if we can. Get rid of this. We can bring you down now. Smacking you. We can actually break through this unit. The question is, do we bring something down already? So this kills him. We could bring down the Purifier, then it dies. Well, it doesn't die, but it's going to take a lot more damage. Okay. And now they... Okay, one of them dies. 1, 2... Alright, how do we want to do this? This guy is going to be 3 hits now. That's not nearly as scary. Let's go nuts with as much damage as we can here. I kind of think we Restoring Retreat this guy first, though. And then just smack through all the damage. Because we don't need him in the front. We do that. And we just really wreck this guy. He's almost dying, but just not quite. And then we restore here. Hey, there's 2 extra draw. Hey, there's a whole bunch of extra draw. I'm a fool. But we still got a lot of incants out. And he's going to die after Frostbite, so in the end, pretty good. So only that one guy is going to make it to our pyre. 30 damage is not bad. Okay. So we need to desperately heal down there as well, but let's see how we're going to do it. We're going to go... I'm even okay if the Titan Sentry dies here. But it would be pretty sick if he didn't die. Let's go start with... Preserve Thorns. Smack. 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 Restore. Do we Restoring Retreat to get more damage out? Ugh. Restoring Retreat keeps him alive. Which means more Frostbite. This just means more instant burst. We're gonna do this. I have confidence in our ability to kill the top liner, or top laner, top floor dude. Man, do we want to greed for that? I guess it's fine. Make sure he dies, and then we can Restoring Retreat next to the armor dude. He's not doing tons of damage anyway. Alright, we just need to be able to bring everything down. That's everything. We don't even necessarily need to bring everything down. We just need to be able to heal enough. Restore on you. That's actually enough by itself. This would be even more. Every sting increases his damage. But we can just bring these guys down to just like really solidify the win. Cool. Wow. Oh. That was a head thinker. Head scratcher. That was a thinking man's ring. But we did manage it. Now Engraft seems very appealing. Given what we just faced, being able to generate more Ember. Seems okay, plus getting a trigger here. I don't think we want any of this. And going right path. We're probably duping a unit, but let's see. I mean, this seems really good. Hold over on Engraft. Plus 10 onto the Glimmer again. Let's check trinkets. More spell upgrades. Infused Mallet or Token of a Trader. None of them are very good. We're not going to take Lightstone Casing. What do we want to remove? Frozen Lances. Maybe we just remove a bunch of Frozen Lances. Let's minus the cost of a restore and dupe it. Because we want to be able to get more triggers, and we currently can't. And then we would just remove a bunch of Frozen Lances. Because they are pretty bad. They slow us down. We can upgrade 10 on the same restore if we want. Seems okay. We've nothing to remove consume on. Okay. Or you know what? Rail spike. 2 rail spikes seems really good. Okay, here we go. Let's do it. Okay. Interesting opening hand. We can play both of them on the bottom. Pyrogrow. Engraft. Sting. Blast him. Blast him. Pretty decent opening hand there. Would love it if this guy was dying. He is dying now. That's good news. Play a Mollusk Mage. And you know what? I think it's actually just playing Awoken's Rail Spike flat out. For 5. Holy crap. Okay, we can get the whole team. Alright, let's start with you. Bring... It's like whatever, man. Just whatever you're going to do. Do your thing. I guess we can Frozen Lance him if we need to. So we bring you down next. You down. Then we bring you down. Then we play you. Then we bring you down. Then we engraft to smack this fool. We can Frozen Lance here. Or we can Frozen Lance him to prevent 15 damage to our Pyre. But I actually think the Pyre damage is not a big deal. We play you here, and I think we just blast you. Cool. Wow, that was like an insane turn. Alright, Preserve Thorns to start it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's perfect. We play the end. No, we Sting. Need you to die too. 1 Sting should do it. Glimmer here is like massive. Do that. Double Sting so that we can bring both of you guys down. And this is just like insanity. Wow. Would you look at that? We got the whole squad together. Oh crap. We're at the unit limit and we didn't get our Guardian Stone in. I guess it's fine. Let's now get rid of... I mean, I'd love to start with the... Oh, we can start with the Deep Offering. No, we shouldn't. Let's start with Sting. We're going to get Stings every turn anyway. Sting. You're killing him. That's good news. Hit ya. Do that. Do that. Do... Hold on. How much do we get right now? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is good. Fantastic. Just smack him. My goodness. Whew. Seems pretty good, guys. The whole squad here to fight. I think we can kill most of them just by doing regen triggers. So we could get rid of the Calcified Ember, and then we smack him for 240 damage. Yeah, this is... We're getting some good runs. Play that. Let's see if we can kill him with just the restore triggers. Perfect damage for one of those. And then, yeah, we just blast. 180 armor here. 124 base health there. Pretty good. Okay. We can get rid of a Frozen Lance. Do that. Do that. Do that. 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 Gotta be very careful with my aiming here, but so far it's working okay. And then just keep stacking. Are they getting through Titan Sentry? Wow, they're actually getting through a lot of the dudes. Okay, this is going to be fun. So we start off with a Sting. Restoring Retreat. Engraft. Restoring Retreat. Sting. Smack ya. Sting. Sting. Restoring Retreat. Deep Offering. Sting. Sting. Restore. Restoring Retreat. Offering Token. Pretty good. That was good. And I think we got a lot of value out of the Explosive Sentient here. Yeah, overstack builds are some of my favorite ways to play. Apart from that Ring 7 early Kerfluffle, that was a really smooth run. Okay. Let's do another one. So next, we have Umbra. With Umbra, I actually think Bristling is quite good. Umbra has a pretty hard time dealing with backliners. There's no sweep, and trample becomes problematic if you don't get enough damage. So having Bristling helps a lot. The only issue is you don't really want to gorge with Bristling. So we're probably going to do a 2-floor setup where the Bristling Sentient is clearing backliners on a lower floor with maybe some form of damage in front. And then we have our Gorge unit up top who is prepping for Relentless and to kill big frontliners. That's the setup we're going to go for. Shade Splitter is going to be just better than Plink, especially if we get Bristling, because then we don't have to worry about killing backliners. So we'll keep it simple, and we should jump right into it. So the main combos here then is, if we get more spikes, damage, it's fine, but it's not necessary. We just need something that can do a lot of frontline damage. So Ember Drain package could work. We could do just really solid Gorge with Multi-Striker up top. Even an Awoken Hollow, or not Awoken Hollow, a Animus of Will, if we get like stat enhancers. And Animus of Will is also not an awful Gorger as well. But that's going to be the setup. So we have Gorge floor, Sentient floor with Bristling. If we don't get Bristling, next best would be Cultivating. And then we can put something like an Animus of Will on the same floor and still have a Gorge floor separately. But then maybe we would swap them. We have to see. All right, starting with an Edge Prior, and with Sharpen, and with Temperant. This is made. Scourge is going to be annoying. This is absolutely made for a Bristling run. So let's see if we luck out. Magic Power? Don't think so. I think we would take the Regen Bloating Fungus here. Bristling, Bristling, Bristling. Why you gotta be that way, game? Oh. Oh. Hey, thanks. Just sadness. Well, we're gonna go Explosive. We'll go Explosive, and we'll do another explosive run, and we'll try to get Bristling in during the Melting Remnant run. Oh, but this was so perfect. Everything was coming together, and then sadness. But it does be like that sometimes. All right, let's just get some random Gorges out. What we want now is spikes on that floor. We want more health. Let's do something like that. 1, 2. Okay, they're all going to die anyway. Let's just get rid of them out of the hand. Okay. We did not get our spikes. 1, 2. We'll get 2 there. Play these guys down here. We're going to take 1 damage to... No, 3 damage to the part. No, 5, because it's base damage, not rage-induced damage. There we go. That's what we wanted. Spikes. Get more Ember. Okay, we got to get a lot of damage very quickly now. Okay, damage shield will help. But it's scary right now. We need... Okay, restore, and we're good. Lifesteal would also be really good. If we could get it. Fantastic. Really solid. Burnout Rectiflicker is very good. Nothing wrong with that. You really want, if you're going to go Burnout Rectiflicker, priority is Paraffin Enforcer. And you can also do, there's some interesting builds. You can do, well, let me focus on Rectiflicker when we get to Rectiflicker. But there's some builds I'll show when we get there. So that'll be on Friday. We'll go Rectiflicker. We don't need more spikes, and I don't think we want any of this. We want Regen. Regen is the key. We don't need backline damage. Space Prism seems good. Immortal Trade's also very interesting. If we get any damage on the Sentient, then every time the Sentient attacks, it will heal itself and trigger damage. But I think Space Prism is just more across the board good. There's a Crucible Warden. There's also a Husk Hermit. This is just more AoE. Actually, we have no AoE other than the spikes. Let's take this. What we want now is a quick. We want quick. Quick multi-strike? Don't think so. I think we just want extra damage and then quick. And we're going to skip out on multi-strike on that unit. Awoken Hollow. Do we want the Awoken Hollow? I don't think so. I think it conflicts too much. Secondary clan to use with Flicker? Probably, if you're going Burnout... Oh, hey Sal Link. How's it going? Isn't this your time to stream? Or are you just finishing your stream? I would say best secondary clan is probably Hellhorned or Umbra. Although you can always just go Root Seeds. Oh, you just raided. It didn't show up on my raid list. Oh, there we go. Then welcome to Sal Link and other viewers. We are doing a teaching how to play the Sentient. We've done 2 successful runs so far. We're now on the 3rd run. And we're really sad we didn't get Bristling. So Root Seeds is always good. You could always just go Exile, Awoken, and Root Seeds is like, it's the most OP starting card, so you can always get value out of it. But also Imps, reforming Imps is a solid thing. Are you participating? I hope you are. I'm hyped for it too. I'm excited. I have a... you bet. Okay, good. Yeah, so that'll be going out. If you're watching this on YouTube in the future, sorry, you may have missed the tournament. Watch the videos. If you're seeing it now current, yeah, the tournament starts on Thursday, the qualifier round. Those will be made available for 1 full day. You can play both qualifier rounds, and then the actual tournament is on Saturday. Yeah, I'm excited. We participated in 1 tournament. I think you did too, right? In a very, very early on in a Hell Rush tournament. But the Sinis, Narninian, and I also participated in a tournament more like what I'm doing. Although I will say I made a lot of changes based on how I felt that tournament went. We're just going to keep buffing up the Steward up top. We just need a lot of... Okay, spikes are... I guess double spikes is pretty good. Although, maybe we put... we should have put it on him. We should have put both of them on him. But it is what it is. We should still be fine. Our Train Steward has lifesteal and he's doing, what, like 12 damage? And that's before we put spikes on him, give him a whole bunch of morsels. Alright. Good luck, morsel. Oh, should have swapped. Missed 2 damage. And we're good. Cool. We still need our Gorge unit. Again, I don't think we need AoE. Ooh. It's... Oh, all of these are good. Engine upgrade's good because we have a lot of... Well, we don't have a lot of. We have 2 major high-cost spells we haven't reduced yet. Edge Prior kind of makes that less relevant because it makes all of our healing spells free. Mind Collapse is just a good way to generate Ember when you need it and to kill off backline units. But making a morsel is also very solid if we are going to have a kind of consistent Gorger. But we have, with Shade Splitters and with 2 Packed Morsels, we have pretty consistent morsel generation. Hillary Man. Hail Mary Man. Hail Mary Man, thank you for the follow. Hope you're enjoying the stream. I think we're going to skip here. Engine Upgrade is a close contender, but I just don't think we need it. Alloyed Construct seems fantastic. It's the multi-strike damage unit we need, and I don't think we can afford to play Shadow Siege in a build like this. So we'll go Alloyed Construct. Do we want to dupe? To dupe or not to dupe? I think I actually like the Relic here. I don't want another banner unit. I think we're solid with banners. Interesting. Shadowbox. How likely are we right now? 3-6. We'd have to get 14 Shade Splitters at this point. If we get a Morsel Master, it becomes much easier, or a Morsel Maker. I think there's a good chance, or we could even get stuff like... I don't know. I can't think of card names right now. We could get... Grovel was the one I was thinking of, or Gem Trove. Both of those would be good ways to get to our 20. Can we survive without the Husk Hermit? What are we going to get out of him? We're going to get Revenge Triggers and Explosions? That doesn't make any sense. Let's do Purge a Spell, and let's get rid of one of our Stings, or our Sharpens. If they become 0 cost, we can double stack them for a 1 cost double stacked Sharpen, which would be pretty decent. It means we... Oh, actually, we're already at the point. We only need to... Double stacking the Sharpen means that it automatically kills the multi-strikers in 1 hit, which is pretty important. It saves you so much damage if you can kill them in a single hit. This is scary. This is scary. It represents a lot of damage. We're going to go middle top. It does mean we can't play the Edge Prior, but I think it's more important that we don't just get wrecked in the first 2 rounds. And now I'm wondering, I think we just go all in on you and put the Sharpens onto him. Because he gets damage and then he gets the spikes, which is both fine for him. We're going to kill everything with our sweep unit here. Okay, this is really... We're going to block. Oh, it's still not going to be enough. Okay. Well, hopefully the sweep unit can survive. We've gotten quite a bit of fuel. Yeah, Rage Talus is a nightmare. Hey, now we can fit the Edge Prior. Let's see. You need 2 Gorge. You only have 3 fuel. We need to get a lot more Gorges out. We're going to have 1 more Packed Morsels that will help. I think we play Train Steward up front. And Restore. Okay. Luckily, despite the fact this seems really scary, it's actually not a lot of damage. And now we get a lot more Gorging, which is great. We can play the Edge Prior in the back. Maybe... No. Close. We almost got the right morsels. We just needed a... Oh, the spikes! We actually killed the backliners. Surprise. I forgot about the spikes. Shade Splitter. You're gonna have... You're gonna die in 3 hits. We have to restore you. Restoring here does not really do a whole lot. But getting you extra health is a lot of value. You're gonna have... How many hits? How much do we need? You're going to be down to 500 damage. We would need to hit a lot more than this. We're going to get at least one Shade Splitter. 5 hits. Would 5 hits be enough? It's close. Luckily, Talos doesn't do a lot of damage to our Pyre. And we get this. I gotta remember, we also have spike damage here. There's 2 more fuel. Is it better to put a Train Steward up? No. The 5 hits. Hold on. 1, 2. We're killing him. We're killing her. Wow. Solid. Very solid. Okay, Wildwood Tome is what we want. If we have Wildwood Tome, then we don't have to actually upgrade Husk Hermit with Quick. And if we happen to get Quick, then we can upgrade, or then we can use it on the Alloyed Construct and it's still okay. Ooh, but Shroud Spike. Oh, but Shroud Spike. I don't think we can pass up Shroud Spike. I think it's too important. There's a Morsel Master. Fantastic. And Ember is still a problem. But I'm oh wait, we have Garbage Fell, I believe. Yeah, Garbage Fell, we're taking Ember. No question. Last thing we need is to be able to not play our units because we start with garbage in our deck. What do we get later? Spell upgrades, spell upgrades, spell upgrades. Man. Do we even need unit upgrades right now? I think we can survive without them, and it's really useful to yeet the Train Stewards at this point, as well as upgrade some of our spells. Ooh, removing Consume. Okay, this is how you get enough morsels, but it's also how you can get, like, crazy Shroud Spikes. Yeah, we're going to do Shroud Spike. We're going to go with a non-consumed Shroud Spike. We're going to get a morsel basically every turn, I think. It's pretty unlikely we don't get a morsel on a turn. It can happen, but I think we're in a good position here. And more explosive. Okay. And then ideally now... Oh, I totally had forgotten too. We could have played the Edge Prior because we have the Space Prism. Extra damage. That means they start with 8 damage. Our sweep unit's not going to kill them. Then you have to ask yourself, how important is 150 coins at this point? I mean, certainly we would make good use of it. We're going to go with Merchant of Magic here. And then we're going to go right into Merchant of Steel. With the Sentient, they're going to have 35 base health. We only have to get 1 heal to kill the 2 units. 2 heals means we kill both of them. I think that's enough. And we can play on the middle floor to try to, like, prep it. Okay, we kill 1 right away. So we go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to forego 1 turn of fuel because it's going to be basically wasted anyway to do this. This is looking really good. Unfortunately, we're not going to get this collector, but it's like, whatever, man. Priorities. All right. Restore. Restore. Let's see what other one we get. Okay. We're going to have Ember next turn. Oh, I could have played it down there. I'm a fool. No, I couldn't have played it there, guys, because I was clearly going to get the Edge Prior this turn. So, made the most intelligent move without thinking at all. Let's get you in here. I guess we want him to survive. Damage shield makes sense here. To kill a collector, the ratio I do is 5 coins per pyre health. So if the collector is going to give you 75, you could take up to 25 damage, and I would say it's worth it. No, 75 divided by 5 is 15. 15 damage. Quick maths. Alright, we're still fine. We have damage shield now, so we're not so concerned with the damage we're taking on this top floor. And this is a fantastic time to get both Packed Morsels and Shroud Spike. Oh my gosh! Welcome. And we can play you for free. It's like Christmas. Let's just get ourselves a lot of damage shield, how about? Okay. Try to get as much damage out as we can. We would like to have... Yeah, I mean, just get more damage. We don't really need the Ember. Away with your logic. Hey, we triggered it. Good for us. Now I feel justified in taking Shadowbox, even if it never triggers again. Alright, we're good, but, you know, force of habit. It's not a real run if you're not playing things even when the boss is dying. Excellent. Shard Channeler is a waste. Pyrogrow is very interesting. Awake is very interesting. Awake might just be the heal that we need. And with the Edge Prior, I'm even more kind of interested in taking it. We're not going to take Void Binding. Yeah, which does happen. Ember Cache seems really strong. It does mean that we lose a little bit of tempo in a single turn. Fantastic. Hold on to it. We lose a little bit of tempo in a single turn, but then later we can get even more powerful Shroud Spikes, and that's worth it. We're definitely going to go right path here. We get a free relic. Oh, those relics. You hate to see it. And let's see what we get for spells. I still really like removing Consume and minusing 1 on a Packed Morsels. That'll help us trigger Shadowbox much easier. And then the question is, do we actually increase capacity? I don't think so. I think we're still good with just playing 4 morsels on a floor. Do we want plus 20 damage on anything? Or plus 20 magic power on a heal? No, we don't. Thanks for asking. Permafrost? No. We're probably going to yeet the other Sharpen, but we'll see. I don't think we need a yeet stick here. I think we have plenty of solid AoE, we have plenty of burst, and we have fantastic relentless combat with our robot. Spells. I love that when you don't have any spell damage. It's the best time to get that trial. All right, let's go middle top. We're sad about the Train Steward here. We're not going to play, or sorry, we're shroud about the sad spike. We are sad about the Shroud Spike, and we're not going to play Train Steward because we don't want to just give this guy free triggers here. Play you. So interestingly, the best play here is Shade Splitter heal. Sharpen may become relevant later, but what ends up happening is that now the trigger hits the overcharged tank, doing a little bit more damage. Is 50 damage enough? It's not currently, but we're going to take 10 damage to the Pyre. It's not like a huge deal here. Let's see what else we get. I don't think we need Ember that much. So better would just be double damages up here, health here, get a huge trigger, and now we're solid for the rest of the fight. As long as we don't die. And by we, I mean as long as our buddy here doesn't die. Ember Cache, Restore, Awake. Alright, if he's gonna die, it's gonna be here. Packed morsels. Okay, fantastic. I'm gonna check to see if we get more damage shield. We got more damage shield. Great. We can't fit you. Train steward, get powered up. And then let's just blast through these guys. Give ourselves some more damage. We were living on the edge there. But we managed it. Okay. This represents 2 ember cost. And I think the sharpen is more valuable right now. Because that's a lot of damage onto him. That's an extra 20 damage. 40 damage. I don't know. It's some damage. Hey, ooh, we get Shroud Spike plus Excavated Ember. Plus Packed Morsels. Okay, yeah, we're solid. I think it's definitely got to be the damage shield here. And we triggered. So there's an interesting question. It's not an interesting question. We can't play it. We're just going to Shroud Spike for a whole lot of damage shield. I was thinking like, hey, we could play the damage shield down here and then Shroud Spike it, but that's not how floors work when they're at capacity. But we actually got him pretty low. He is breaking through. How about now? Cool. Shard Channeler, you just really want to party with us, don't you? Rail Spike also seems very appealing. Does it though? If we got X costs, it would be really solid. We could always just add -2 to it. Pyrogrow's also okay if we are really worried about extra Ember, but man, does it give us a really crap turn. I think we go with the Rail Spike here. And... ooh. Crucible Extension is very appealing. Feast is also very appealing. I think we take the Feast and we get Permafrost on it. Because we don't need it every turn, but when we do use it, it's going to be amazing. And now we get Super Sharpen. That is also a fantastic holdover target. We have no unit upgrades, but boy do I want spell upgrades. Let's go spells now and units here. I think getting the holdover or Permafrost would be really strong for us. Do we double stack it? I think just holdover is better. Let's make you 0 cost? Question mark? Make you -1. We don't want to add any magic power. Holdover, remove consume. On Rail Spike? On Space Prism. On Second Packed Morsels. On other Ember Cache. I don't know. Space Prism? This is all very interesting. Maybe on nothing. You think it's on Rail Spike? I'm certainly thinking about it. It would be really strong. But then we could also just have a +2 one that we can play for 0. Let's just make the Awake free and remove Consume. I think it's good enough. But man, not getting the holdover or the Permafrost is kind of feels bad. Ring structure is first 2 rings are common, then you get a rare draft pick from Daedalus. Next rings are uncommon with a slight chance of rare between 3 and 5, and then you get an automatic rare at 6, and then 7 and 8 are rare, basically. What happens when I don't win a run? I edit it out of the guide. No, I'm kidding. I play through it anyway, and I'm sad. I feel bad. That's what happens. It hurts my feelings. We're really not loving getting garbage, but I can't avoid it right now. Let's give you just more raw damage. This is actually a revenge. This is actually going to do a trigger next turn. So it represents 40 damage. Sweep. Welcome to the party. Glad you could make it. And so far we've been handling it pretty well. This turn's going to really suck, but this is why we took an extra Ember, for exactly that reason. Okay, what do we want here? I think we want... let's go with just that single morsel, because that's all we can fit there. And get these guys out. Want to get closer and closer to Shadowbox. Alright. This is certainly not the turn that you want to see Shroud Spike. So we will be taking Draw, absolutely, as our next upgrade. Actually a decent time to get Awoken's Rail Spike here. Play it. Draw a Train Steward, as one does. And then, do we have enough fuel? Are we out of fuel? We are out of fuel. We're doing 18 damage to him. Well, he's not doing a lot of damage to us, so I guess it's okay, but a little bit sad. Now we're good. We're taking 3 hits. We're going to take even more damage now as well. Spikes actually puts us above so that we're hitting the backliner. Seems good. We could also feast to immediately get Rebel Morsels. That makes 0 sense. We take 1 more hit. And fantastic turn again to get our Excavated Ember. Double Excavated Ember and Awake. Okay, well we have all the Ember. Fuel is once per combat, that's exactly right. And it's regardless of whether you attack. Alright, this is getting scary, guys. Okay. We need to get a lot of triggers here. Scary. Scary. We have enough fuel. We don't have enough sustain. This is very problematic. Okay. There's some sustain. We would rather get lifesteal. There's lifesteal. Oh, you're dying too quickly. So we get damage shield as well. 338. 390. Okay, we restart. How do we do this better? How do we do this better? Maybe we have to play on the bottom. Play Edge Prior somewhere else. And double up on damage for you. And give you sustain. This way we kill things and they don't put garbage in our deck. This guy does, but it's still better than what we had going. And now maybe we do it because we get a lot less garbage. Maybe that's right. Okay, pack morsels. Let's take... Let's take this. We can play these out for a future Train Steward. The problem is, without the Edge Prior, we don't do nearly as much damage on the other floors. Alright, good luck. And this is obviously much better. I think we still just want everything onto him. More lifesteal seems really good. And do we... I think we'd still play you to draw 2 cards, make them cheaper. Get another Shade Splitter. But now the Shade Splitter's free. Maybe that is ever relevant. Probably not, but... Okay. Now we get Space Prism. Shade Splitter. We're getting lots of lifesteal. That's really good. We can do that. Do that. Feasting now doesn't really make sense. It's certainly gone, like, in terms of, like, the robot's in much better shape than he was before. Do we take 5 damage so that we can get a really good Awoken's Rail Spike here? I think that's worth it. And we can play it anyway because we get the Excavated Ember. Wow, game really helping us out. And we get a trigger here. That was fantastic. That was a gamble, but it really paid off. Taking 3 or 1 more hit. So this floor is basically whatever. I mean, this helps a bit. The Packed Morsels. Okay. Then we can feast. Then we can play you, get even more damage, and get more damage there. So we're starting off with a Fel that has less health than before. And we already have, oh my gosh. And we get lifesteal. Okay. We got the secret sauce together. And now we're just killing it. Yeah. So greeting to try to play all the units was the mistake. Just making sure that we killed the units before they created garbage in our deck was the key to victory here. Ooh. There's the Wildwood Tome we skipped before. There's also a Furnace Tap. I mean, Furnace Tap is Furnace Tap is Furnace Tap. And Furnace Tap is Furnace Tap, so you can't deny that this is in fact a Furnace Tap here. So in what world do you take Wildwood Tome over Furnace Tap? I think it's in a world where quick means you never have to worry about the Seraph Temperament backliners. Do we have to worry about them? Not if we add more damage onto Husk Hermit. With 25 damage, I think we can cover it okay. Yeah, I think we need the quick. It's a lot more flexible. We can also play it on the robot to avoid damage. I just think that we're going to go unit upgrades here. So we need damage. We need no more Train Stewards. We need damage on the sweep unit. We want... There's quick. So we can put extra damage onto you. We're going to play quick onto you. We can put quick onto the robot. Give generic stats to the Morsel Master. Then reroll. Endless is complete garbage in this setup here. I think we give Alloyed Construct more health because we need it to be able to survive 3 hits from Seraph, which means more than 30 health. And I think we're set here. Now with the extra draw and having the extra Ember, I think we're okay. I'm even okay to take this damage here because the quick will kill most of the units before they have a chance to attack. We just need to make sure we play... Oof. This might be a time when we play middle top. So we go 1, 2... You don't want to feast here because then he loses a fuel. There's the sweep. So we're just wrecking everything there. Awake means that we do more damage to the backliner as well. So we're only going to draw 1 here. It is a Shroud Spike, which doesn't do anything. Okay, quick would be huge. There's quick. It's huge. Plus we can do this. We can do this. And wow, are we so close to being able to just kill this guy. We'll take 18 damage for it. But that should be the only leak the rest of the run. Yeah, this is really solid. Let's do packed morsels. Packed morsels again. I know it's a lot, but here, let's continue to stack you up. We need you to have as much health as possible. Question mark. You as well. And then, I don't know, I guess you guys show up later. Maybe I shouldn't have played both packed morsels. There's already one back. He's here for revenge. Kill. Kill. What do we get? We want, I guess lifesteal's also pretty good. Rebel morsel, or morsel here. We still can't play him. There's a Shrouds. No, there's an Awoken's Rail Spike. Let's play you out, and then Awoken's Rail... Oh, play this. Then Awoken's Rail Spike. Okay, good. Got a lot of free stuff. Big fan of free stuff here. Still sharpen on you. And you know what? Feast. And get another set. Cool. Alright, finally got Shroud Spike. We can heal up a lot here as well. Do we just go for the damage? Maybe we get something better? Rubble Morsel. It's not great. We think we just take the damage. We put this here. Do we have enough? This is the mighty question. So we're going to double sharpen. Go 1. Go 2. What do we get here? We have already a lifesteal, but we're going to lose it at the very beginning. So let's play these guys up here. That's 2 hits. And we get 150 random damage. Yeah, he's dead. We're doing more than enough damage. We're doing 160 per hit. We only have to hit him like 3 times. Cool. Not to mention the fact that we can just, you know, do this. Cool. So now what we need... Ooh. Preserve Thorns? No. I don't think another Awake is it either. If anything, we would dupe the Awake we have, but I don't think we need to do that. We want to... Ooh, what do we want to do here? We want to skip all this. And I think we want to dupe the Shroud Spike. Yes, I think that's the play. We will occasionally play Sharpens onto our sweep unit to make sure he has enough damage through the sap. But sap's only going to reduce, it's going to be reduced 9, and then it's going to reduce 4 every time. No, not 9, 6. And then it's going to reduce 4 additional every time he comes to the floor. We should be fine. It's going to be hard to get him down to below 5, which is what we need to kill the backliners. So spell upgrades here. I'm probably just going to eat that Sharpen. We don't need another Sharpen. I really think it's the Shroud Spike. Let's see what we get out of the trinkets first before we do that. This is all garbage. This is not garbage. Fantastic. Yeah, this is also okay. So then, absolutely, we're going to dupe the Shroud Spike here, and then we want to remove what though? What do we remove? The bad Sharpen. There's a world where we get like insanely lucky and we can get both of them in the same turn with an Ember Morsel. I do also think it's looking like a win, but it is a little bit scary. Do we double stack the Sharpen? Or do we hold out for holdover? 8 spikes is pretty good. Plus it's actually 8 damage as well. Yeah, that's got to be worth it. Watch its holdover. Nope, remove consume. Perfect. Continue to make more shade splitters free. And then there's nothing else to remove. Maybe the feast is too... Maybe we remove the feast. Just to make our morsel generation a little bit more consistent and like, okay, we might not get to gorge as many times, but I think it's okay. Alright, so we're going bottom middle, and we're just going to let stuff leak because that's the way it is. So we go you, you, and I think... Oh man, this is a tough one. I think it's the sharpen to kill the backliner. The backliner is more important. Oh, but man, this is almost killing the frontliner right now. Oh, this is rough. But it also saves so much damage. This guy's going to do a number on our pyre. Hopefully by then we've got ourselves put together and we're in a little bit of a better spot. Let's go... I don't think we could justify a Shroud Spike right now. We need to make sure we're killing things. Okay, that's going to be the last thing hitting our pyre. It's going to be brutal, but from then on we should be okay. So we want lifesteal. We want... Well, hold on. We need to check what we get first. Shroud Spike. Okay, I'm glad I didn't play anything because we needed the Edge Prior out. This does nothing. Absolutely nothing. We don't have Quick. This is a problem. Are they killing us? No. These guys are not doing very... They're not very nice. Let's put it that way. We can't play morsels up top because they just die and they just make this guy stronger. Well, let's see. He's taking 40. We could play 2 just to get them out of the deck. Oh, no, we can't. That's too much. Gave him an extra hit. How are we doing here? Not amazing. Quick. Helps. Now we can Shroud Spike. Okay, we gotta restart this. That was not good. We need to play middle top. We need more time. And we need to be able to kill these guys. So we play you here. Play you guys up here. And it means we can only play one morsel at a time up here, but we made it work last time. I think we have to try it again here. We're going to play the Sharpen on this floor. Now we can play our sweep unit. This guy's killing him. This guy's killing the backliner. Ember Cache, Shade Splitter is actually okay. We can play both of them. That gives him some fuel. And then we can kill both of these guys. Okay. So that was the difference. We just needed to play on the... Oh my gosh. Are we still dying? With Rail Spike, maybe not. It's going to draw 5. We can just play it now. Okay, Edge Prior plus the heals. Ugh. Do we play Edge Prior in the front to absorb one of the hits? This represents 60, 75, 85 damage. This would lower it to 75. Wow. Brutal stuff. Okay, you're going here. Man, not getting the quick early is like brutal. And let's just give you that. Okay. Now we get the quick. keeping us alive a little bit longer. We can expand capacity down here. Oh, man. Oh, you're totally right. That would have been enough, too. Let's give you this, this, and this. Okay, now we need, like, some solid Shroud Spikes on the top. Also, Sharpen is good. Okay, here we go. Damage Shield's pretty good. It is what it is. We'll take Damage Shield. It's better than nothing. We're gonna play this. I think we want Sharpen still on... Hold on. I think it's still on you. Now with all the Damage Shield, we should be killing most things. Well, except for these giant units up front. My gosh. We should have kept those. I'm a fool. Alright, we're going to do Lifesteal. Heal, heal, heal. Play everything. Everything is free. Unfortunately, we got both Shroud Spikes. And then, okay, it is what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. Okay. We're just losing. All right, last try. Last try, and I think you're right, Zakato. I think we needed to play the Sharpen on the Sentient, and then we were much better off. And we just absorbed this first hit. Why reset? Oh, were we going to proc the artifact? Oh, I'm a fool. Sorry, I didn't realize that. I wasn't even paying attention. My bad. Sorry. We're going to do double triggers here. Again. Dang. We actually could have won that if we'd procced it. I always forget about Shadowbox. Rubble Morsel. Rubble Morsel. Damage Shield. I think it's damage. And then... Oh, this is an Awoken's Rail Spike. Crap. Now we can't fit our buddy in. We can fit him on his own floor. That's not really what we're looking for. Crap. Now we get quick, saving us a lot of damage in the future. I'm going to play this because I now realize that occasionally we can play the Shroud Spike, and then in addition also play another morsel afterward. So pack morsels, excavated ember. We want lifesteal here. Extra health? No, probably damage shield here is going to be better. Nothing to say about that, you know, just missing some damage for no reason. Okay, there's a Shroud Spike. We'll play that first. This gets us a lot of extra damage as well as lifesteal. Okay. How we doing? It's not amazing yet. Here we can put Sharpen on you. We can play Edge Briar. Probably damage is going to be the best here. We still need a lot of morsels. Getting you down to almost 2 hits. Okay. Restore, restore, sharpen, morsel, draw 3. We're going to play you out because we're pretty close to getting Shadowbox. Wait a minute, are we dead? Oh, we weren't dead. I didn't need to reset. Gosh, dang it, guys. Everything was going well until it all fell apart. We got to play this fight better. No, sharpen. Okay. This is it. We're gonna run with this no matter what. No more mistakes, quality plays, and we're fine. I mean, that's true to an extent, but it does mean we get better shroud spikes, which is relevant. I actually should have just played one. One was enough to kill him, and then I could have done a shroud spike here. Gotten a little bit more damage out and a little bit more fuel. Okay, so we can Orokin's Rail Spike to start. It gives us Edge Prior right off the bat. That's doing a lot of value to the front unit here. And then we're going to take whatever this is. I just don't want to fill my hand up with morsels. Although, can we justify giving this guy insane amounts of armor? I don't think so. I think it's too scary. Even if we could hit Shadowbox earlier, I think it's still too scary. Now we get quick. And we get increased capacity here. I actually am going back on my original thought. We're going to play this out here. Shroud Spike it. Gives us enough damage to kill both of them. Give you more stats here. Kill you. This is already looking way better. We can let you die. Cool. Hitting that restore on the correct unit there was pretty big too. Keep healing. Keep killing. That's all what we want. I think it's more damage and stats. I'm okay giving you a little bit of HP here to try to get closer to Shadowbox. We only need to get 8 more morsels, which seems completely feasible. Let's not put rebels up there. Let's give you more lifesteal. That's 14. Give you more health. Give you more damage. Wow, you're actually killing him now? Good. Oh yeah, because it adds the 8 extra. That's good. And then we'll play these 3 morsels. Next turn, we get to hit Shadowbox, which is a really strong turn to do it. Very cool. Play this. I guess we do it. We don't need any more fuel, though. We're good on fuel. It'd honestly be better to just draw 3 cards. We get an Awake, healing you up a ton. Play a Shade Splitter somewhere. We need something that we can actually, like, absorb. Like Lifesteal, for example. Lifesteal is not quite as good as getting Damage Shield. Actually, no, Lifesteal is better than Damage Shield. It's 2 turns versus 3 turns. Or, yeah. 2 hits versus 3 hits. It blocks 3 hits because you heal back. There we go. All looking really strong. More lifesteal. More HP. More damage there. And I think we're good. So other than this travesty of a run, where I had to restart so many times, it's actually been pretty solid up until now. We're going to be able to make so many cards free. Alright, cool. Actually, it was a lot closer. We literally ran out of lifesteal at the end. That was as tight as it gets. So, yeah, what did we need to make that a little bit better? We needed more Space Prisms. We probably should have duped the Space Prism instead of duping the Space Prism. Or sorry, other way around. We should have duped the Space Prism instead of the Shroud Spike. Yeah, I mean, fuel was fine. The biggest issue was just survivability. The sustain was like not there. Okay, but we can have a crap run. Let's go into our last one. So now with Melting Remnant, a couple things you can do. You can actually go with a reform build on what is it called? On Cultivating. AoE is also a problem, so we could go Bristling. We haven't done a Bristling build yet. The other nice thing about Bristling is that if the Sentient dies and then comes back, you get the spikes back. So even if you have Seraph the Chaste, you can keep playing the Sentient on different floors, and you're going to get the full value out of the spikes every time. In this case, we definitely don't want dregs. We want primitive mold. For basically all builds, we would want primitive mold. And so the goal here is, if we go with Bristling, we need then frontline damage. So we want to get burnout units that can like grow, or we want to get some awoken units like the Animus of Will who can grow. But let's see what we get for starting cards. Wicklash, that's gonna help a lot. And again, with Seraph the Chaste, we actually don't have to worry. We can have the Sentient die over and over again, and then keep bringing her back, and she'll come back with full spikes. It's a legitimate build. We're gonna go with Guild Marker here. And what you do is you just apply burnout one time and then keep bringing her back. So that's what we're going to do. This is the one time when you can play Bristling against Seraph the Chaste, is when you have burnout build. Okay. Unit draft. This should be okay. We'll kill most things before they can hit us. And we can play the Sentient on multiple floors because we can always bring her back. So we play it like this. Put one of you up there, one of you here. Basically for collector purposes. Do we want a stat buff on you? No, we want you to die and then come back. Stat buff on you makes a lot of sense. Restore does not keep her alive, so it doesn't really matter. Restore does make a difference there. Okay. We didn't get a reform, so that's, you know, the potential problem, but maybe we'll get one in a minute. Take potentially 10 damage here. So we can bring back the Sentient, immediately put Wicklash, Steel Enhance, and Graft. We take another 12 damage, unfortunately. But now we just have to bring her back one more time and we're good. Dead. Cool. You don't often see a reform build that features reforming the Sentient, but it does work rather well with Bristling. Invigorating Solution. Or Steel Enhancer. We already have 2 Steel Enhancers, so I'm a little bit de-incentivized. Restoration Detonation as well, I don't think fits this when we're going to be restoring, or not going to restore, we're going to let her die and then bring her back. Invigorating Solution is kind of interesting, just as a pure draw mechanic. We have 1 draw right now with Engraft, but I think Invigorating Solution's okay. Another Wicklash. Maybe it's a Hallow Dripping in order to put it on Permafrost for when we want to reform the Sentient. I don't think we need another Wicklash. I like Hallow Drippings a lot. Vine Mother is going to be out of this group. Awoken Hollow is also pretty good. But we want burnout units. So Lady of the Reformed fits that bill okay. Although it's a little bit weird because we don't want her to be in the front. Maybe we put a Harvest Tycoon early with the Sentient. and then we swap him out for something better later on. Or we can give him outright damage and multi-strike. And then we can Wicklash him now. We give him a lot of Wicklashes, and actually he becomes pretty strong with the multi-strikes. This is fine. We're going to earn ourselves some good money here. Nobody saw that. You didn't see anything. Let's go stat buffs here. We want burnout on the Sentient so we can reform her later. We also want stat buffs on you so we can kill more things. You're gonna go here. You're gonna do 5 damage. This should kill all of them. No, it won't, because you're only doing 13. So this here saves us a hit. Actually, the Sting will kill the top unit here. And the fact that Sentient dies over and over again also means that we get to get the Harvest trigger each time. Kill you. Draw like you've never drawn before. Give all you guys regen. And give you more stats. Fantastic. So we get to bring back one of the two. The Tycoon. Coming in hot. We can give him all the stats. Toss you in there just to die. And we're good. Earn a little bit of money. Cool. Actually like this. I think it's kind of cool. A little bit different. Razor Sharp Edge. It's also very good. There's another Wicklash. Do we overstack? We could overstack floors with Wicklashes. No, hold on. Overstack floors with Driftfall? I don't think so, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I think it's another Wicklash. Another Wicklash, another Wicklash, another Wicklash. Another Wicklash. I think it's okay. We don't really need the regens here. We're going to actually probably yeet all the restores out of the deck. Woken Hollow would be a pretty good unit to get. And I think there's some pretty good artifacts here. Not this one. Root Split Mask. Well, it isn't always going to be great, but occasionally it's going to be awesome. I think we just take the money here. And Husk Hermit. We already have AoE. There's the Awoken Hollow again, though. We could have the Awoken Hollow just cultivate forever in its own lane. Or own floor. But I think I'd rather wait for something better. So we just got a bunch of money. That's what we went on this side. A bunch of money. Monster Rail Spike. Let's get rid of a Train Steward. And, yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting build. The nice thing is that we can always replay the Sentient onto later floors, onto higher floors. So Rage, it's not bad. We're going to kill things due to the spikes. And again, this is absolutely fine. Just really punch these guys right in the mouth. Then we bring her back. Ideally right now, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. If we put you up front, you live, which means you do damage to this guy, which is actually okay. There is a Sting. There's one reform. Train Steward. Gosh dang it, what are you doing here? I guess we'll keep you around. Get you up there. Gosh dang, Train Steward. Now we should get 2 primitive molds, so we get both. Fantastic news. And I don't think it's quite time for our Hallow Drippings. Let's give you Wicklash, give you more stats, and smack you. There's the reform. Keep you around. Okay, next turn. Huh. Next turn's a bit scary. So a sting here. We put this guy up here. If we sting, he dies. If we whiplash, he dies. Let's just sting. Let's whiplash. Man. Let's whiplash you. You're going to do more damage in the end. Going to take 3 hits here, 6 damage. Not bad. Okay, I think we want to heal this guy. Oh, we're actually killing him. Okay. Whatevs. Do that. Easy. We did lose some money there. But wow. Okay. I'm as surprised as anybody that that works so well. Devour of Death is kind of interesting. Channel Song is less interesting. Do we want Devourer of Death? I don't think so. Woken's Rail Spike seems pretty good. We take draw. There's the Animus. That's what we want. And now we take capacity. We can fit all 3. Yeah, that's what we wanted. Okay, unit upgrades. We want a lot of damage. We will take mediocre damage. We will make you thick. Give you some spikes. And then we will give you more damage. And I don't want quick. I want things to die to the Sentient. Wow, that was a huge turn of events for this build. And now all we need is a little bit more consistency in our burnout generation. And then we're good. Bristling. First Wicklash always goes on the Sentient if it's not already dying, if she's not already dying to something else. I think we can handle this. The backliners all die, so we're not going to have to worry about haste. And we are going to start doing a lot of damage very quickly. Not with these guys, because, you know, whatevs. But with other units, we'd be doing a lot of damage very quickly. But this guy doesn't even attack, so it's like, whatever, dude. We played on the floor with less capacity. It's fine. You're going to play up here. You're going to be friends. Let's just give you more damage. Try to get as many kills as we can up here. Are you going to die? That's a real mystery. Steel Enhancer, Sharpen, and then Rail Spike. I don't think we're going to play Hallow Drippings yet. But it's nice to know that it's going to be free. Alright, let's bring back our Wickless Tycoon. I think we're just going to try to keep the Sentient alive during this run. Or during this ring. 61 damage versus this amount of damage. I mean, boss is coming when he gets to the top floor. We just have to be able to kill the boss. This is totally fine. Double Wicklashes here is huge. Steel Enhancer, draw. We can sting this guy and then restore a little bit of health. We might already be killing him. Yeah, we are. Let's not mess with it. Let's just take our money and run. Yeah, this Harvest Tycoon is getting to be a real beast. Wildwood Custodian. Or Spreading Spores. Spreading Spores is pretty bad. Restoring Retreat is super interesting. It's a way to get around all the nonsense where we can't play everything. Kind of like that. Although it does mean that we can't play the Sentient up front. And I think that's actually a real problem. So we don't take any of this. Engulfed in Smoke. Or Remnant Host. It's just like a money maker. I don't think that makes a lot of sense either. We'll skip here too. think what we want is more consistent burnout and more consistent reform, which means removing a lot of stuff. We don't need any more of that. Gain an artifact. Fantastic. Hell's Banners is great. We can remove a Train Steward. And we start removing the restores. Yep. Duplicate. I think it's a Razor Sharp Edge, or is it another Wicklash? I think it's Razor Sharp. And hopefully we have a 6 capacity floor. In the middle would be ideal. So we go middle top. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. We'll play you in the middle. I mean, it's gonna die pretty quick. There's the Animus. Let's go. Let's start with the Animus getting Wicklash because it does more damage. Oh. Maybe? Engraft. Not really. But it is dying on the next floor. Okay. Cool. Sentient's dying. That's exactly what we want to see. More stats. We cannot heal to the point where it's like, oh wait, it gets full health. Totally forgot about that. That's fine. We'll take 24 damage for our sins. Heal back a little bit. You're doing just fine. Bring back the Sentient. It dies immediately, but it's like, whatever, man. And Wicklash. Sting. Restore. Cool. 24 damage. Oof. Brief respite. Bring back the Sentient. I think we need to do halvesies here so that we have enough time to kill. But we should be wrecking house now. With that, it's good enough. Oh, it's not. Actually not good enough. Oh, it's so close. But we're going to kill. Any unit we bring back is going to get us the kill. The hardest pairing of clans. Probably, it might be Melting Remnant and Umbra, or Stygian Guard and Umbra. It's one of those two. Well, we didn't get money because they didn't. They don't trigger if they die at the same time. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Do we need 7 Ember the first turn? I mean, I guess we take it. It's 25 coins. We don't really need that many coins. Pyre Grow for more spells. But we lose draw in return. I guess it's okay. And skip here. We're going to go spell upgrades and removal. We can remove more restores. It's like a cardinal sin to remove restores in a Sentient build, but here it makes a lot of sense. Just because of the unique way that we're playing. I think it's starting with the razor sharp edges we want to remove. Getting removal on the Hallow Dripping is actually interesting as well. And then... Interesting. What if we minus cost to the Hallow... No, what if we hold over the Hallow Drippings? And then we just guarantee we have it? Or do we hold over a Wicklash? Probably the Wicklash. We get Hollow Drippings out occasionally, but we hold over the Wicklash so that we can just like stack up damage on the Animus of Will, which is pretty important. Okay. Good start. Excellent. And Wicklash, Hollow Drippings. Draw. Cool, cool. Stats, stats, stats. Get you. Really hoping the Sentient dies soon. We'll play 1 on her just to guarantee she's going to die. Sting and Razor Sharp. Are we killing everything? Yes, we are still. Okay, great. Now she's dying for sure. Even if we heal her. Get an extra Ember and then draw 4. Okay, it's good. You are getting super thick here, my friend. Okay, now we can start bringing her back. I think we're okay to accept 1 garbage so that we can bring her back again. Very cool. She's got 2 burnout now. Now we need to start thinking about extending her burnout. So I think we do double on her. Make sure she's sticking around for a while. Although she's only going to get hit twice and then die. So maybe that was a bad... Oh, we're still just killing it. This does not do anything, but whatever. Cool. Animus is like bullying everybody. Okay, Wickless Recruitment. Sacrificial Resurrection, no, not here. Cycle of Life. Wickless Recruitment could be really good against Seraph. If we get Permafrost on it, then we can wait, bring back the Sentient, use it, bring back the Sentient, use it, then we don't have to worry about it dying. I kind of like going all in on trinkets here. We could get some really good ones. Rage or Resin Block. I think it's Rage. That's going to make the Animus just insane, even during the Relentless combat itself. We have no Extinguished triggers. We don't need buffs removal. Cursed Vines as well is not that great. Endless. Is Endless just better? I think so. I don't know if we're going to have enough. We don't have enough friendly units dying there. I think Endless is just better. Then we don't have to worry about burnout. She just dies and then she comes back. And then she dies and then she comes back. We put burnout on her to make sure that she dies every time. And then she just comes right back. That seems really solid. Okay, we're going to try to go middle top if we can to give ourselves some time to scale up damage. But we are killing the backliners very easily here. And when I mean middle top, what do I mean? This means... There's no rule that says I have to play the Animus on the same floor as the Sentient. We can do it like this. It's really great to get those two together. Then we actually get a draw a lot, but still do pretty well here. This gives you not quite enough damage. This gives you not quite enough damage. We're sad. A little bit sad here. Get the Collector. And do that. Do that. Oh, man, so close. We needed one more. How are we doing now? Steel Enhancer, Wicklash, Wicklash, Sting. You know what? Let's go bottom top. Bottom top. Give ourselves more time. No reason to not. Even middle top. That's actually even the best. We go middle here, top here. Yeah, that seems like a no-brainer. Play everything on her. Just gives us more time. Okay. Now how are we doing? 1 Wicklash is enough. Plus a Steel Enhancer. We're going to expand Burnout here. We're going to do damage there. Yeah, it seems okay. Alright, do we do enough damage now to kill everything? Should be able to. 2 Wicklashes is enough. We have 3. Okay, we need actually all 3. Cool. It's going really well. No complaints so far. We had to, you know, get into the groove a little bit, but then we made it work. So now they can both die, as long as we're killing this back Shadewing. That's what we need to do. So Sting should do that. Double Sting should do that. Now we're killing the back Shadewing. Excellent, and we're still losing the Sentient, which is exactly how we want this to go. Restore does not save her. Woken's Rail Spike. Fantastic, making a lot of stuff free. Excellent. Alright, and here's the question. Do we play her on the bottom floor now? Let the Wickless Tycoon die? How much damage is she doing? She's doing 140 by 3. She'd have to get to 190. How likely is it she gets to 190? Ooh, it's close. It's very close. Oh wait, no, we're good. Because the Shadewing dies to the Vine Mother. Let's play bottom floor. You're going to come down too. Then we can play them both on the middle floor. Make sure that guy's dying. Do a little bit more damage just because, and we're good. Cool. So now we can play you, adding a lot of damage. Stat buffs. And at this point I'm like, we could stack this guy up. Because they're killing everything here. Let's try to get the kill with you if we can. Because he's going to keep all the stats. Well, he won't keep the rage, but he'll keep all the other stats. Oh, it's so close. Is a double Wicklash enough? It adds... Let me think. Oh, we have the... Bam! Got it. Excellent. We have a lot of money. Another invigorating solution seems fine. Don't love any of this. And we're already full of unit upgrades, right? We don't have any remaining unit upgrades. No, we're good. So then we go spells again. What do we get for trinkets? Better stings seems good. Mold braces. Okay. Spikes! Dealing double damage! Wow. Do we have consume cards? We have like 2. I don't think it's so relevant. Let's get spell stuff first and then maybe we get it after. Remove consume. No thanks. -1 on a holdover Wicklash. We could remove consume from an invigorating solution and then remove 1 ember from it. Because draw is a thing that would help a lot here. Double stack. I don't think we double stack anything. Let's make this free. And we can remove the restores. And a primitive mold. The primitive molds are also not valuable now that we have endless. Cool. Seems like a solid build. It's a little bit weird, but I think it'll be okay. What else do we want here? Huh. mean, this scaling is pretty good. Just like 2 Wick Lashes that are held over. Making the Awoken Hollow just, or not Awoken, the Animus of Will just really insane. Alright, let's see it. Okay. We can play bottom floor. And we go 1, 2... I mean, I guess we can do this. You get rage for that as well. That's funny. Okay, good. So she'll come down, do that, and then we're gonna put Wicklash on her to die. You are dying to the spikes here. Continue to put stat buffs down. We're not loving the Ember Drain, but at least we took extra Ember earlier. Okay, so now we play our Animus of Will out. Get all the stats. Almost killing them. With the stings, we should be okay. Okay, so now we get the Sentient back. And she's just killing it. And part of me is like, what if we let the Sentient, or what if we let the Animus die now, and then bring her back with a Primitive Mold? We're almost guaranteed to get it. And then just buff your stats for now. It would reduce the amount of Ember Drain we have by a lot. I think that's worth it. So we have 1 less Ember Drain. Get a player right back because she's... Oh yeah, we didn't have to reform her because she just comes right back. Cool. How are you doing? Well, with 40 extra damage, you're doing just fine. Heal you, I guess. And then just go nuts. Get all that burnout. Okay. Keep him around longer. Totally fine. Go nuts. Oh my gosh. Pretty good. It's a lot of damage. Alright, this is perfect. We kind of want everything to die, but I'll take just the Sentient dying. That's also okay. Stats. Because they're both coming back. We get 2 floors full of that. Sting again, and we're good. Alright. How we doing? We're almost killing him right now. It's like crazy close. Getting you an extra health doesn't matter, but we'll play it anyway. But cool. And that is how you play Bristling against Seraph the Chaste. So not as smooth as yesterday, but some interesting builds for sure. We got to showcase a little bit how the Sentient operates, what space they fit. I mean, here we saw the Sentient acting as basically a backline killer. Earlier we saw the Sentient as a frontline killer. We also saw the Sentient as an enabler for Dante. So I think we had a pretty good showing of different styles of runs. And also showing how the kind of different clans overlap. Like let's go through really quickly the builds just to kind of do a sanity check. So here, to be honest, we didn't really use much from Hellhorned because we got Dante. Molting Imps, I guess we're okay. But we could have done more with Hellhorned here, certainly. And I think there's a lot of opportunity with, like we had some pretty good stuff, but we had Seraph the Chase, which makes Hellhorned a little bit tough with Rage. With the Stygian Guard, I think we really used Stygian Guard a lot in this build. The combination between these two was really strong to get some insane rejuvenation triggers, as well as all the incanting. I mean, we had that floor that was just like a stacked floor, plus all the restoring retreats. That was kind of cool. So having an overstacked floor that was just going nuts there. Umbra, Alloyd Construct was scary. This was the scariest of the runs for sure. The Sentient had a hard time finding a spot to fill in. If we had Bristling though, this run would have been so much better. Like, Bristling would have just completely changed how this run went. So it's unfortunate we didn't get it, but it was okay. We ended up doing okay in the end. And then finally our most recent run. So that's some ideas how to play the Sentient, some of the builds that you can do, certainly some of the weirder builds you can do, but hopefully it was helpful for you. Hopefully it was helpful for you, is what I was trying to say. And with that, the name of the day was Figgle. You can also call me Nate, you can call me Nathan, but please never call me Nathaniel. We'll be back again in the next video stream with Tethys